find that the people that are the most, advanced in their understanding of this stuff also know how to still laugh and have a good time and enjoy life too. I think that comes with having been involved in this stuff for a while. It's not always immediate. It certainly wasn't that way for me for a long time. I was very, real pissed off and mad all the time. Didn't want to have fun. Didn't think I should have fun or do anything else, that I should just, do this kind of shit all the time. But I think it's one of the things you learn when you start to become your own person and not a drone of some radio host or something like that. You start to figure out that, yes, all of this is important. We don't have to talk about the importance of this. None of us would be here right now doing a show or listening to a show or in a chat room or everything else if we fucking didn't think this shit was serious. Of course we think it's serious. We don't even have to discuss that. But that no matter how serious it is, it doesn't mean that you don't live your life or you don't try to have fun or you don't still try to do what you want to do. Because again, if we're not going to do what we want to do, then why are we doing this? Why are we trying to find anything? Same thing like I talked about, with Alex Jones saying, folks, be on any shadow of a doubt, folks, in 2020. I told you, folks, that 9/11 was going to happen. I was right. And folks, be on any shadow of a doubt, in the year 2020, AI supercomputer robots are going to go around every city in the country. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I'm sad for my family right now, folks. AI supercomputer robots are going to go around. They're going to drop neutron bombs in every major city, folks. They're going to kill us all. If I thought that and I believed that, I wouldn't be here doing this. I'd be shooting fucking heroin into my eye sockets, dude. Fucking banging whores every night, doing coke, partying in the fucking hot tub on the beach, sipping a fucking drink with an umbrella in it. I wouldn't be up here wasting my goddamn time doing radio if I thought that was going to be the end of it. So again, obviously, would it matter? Would selling fucking Jew gold and sorrowful weapons and all sorrowful food and all this shit and buggers, would it fucking matter if you really knew that was going to be the outcome? I mean, give me a fucking break. If you knew beyond any shadow of a doubt the world was going to end on such and such date at such and such time, what would you, you'd be like, fuck this shit. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Fuck it. Let's go party. I know I would. Fuck, dude. If somebody, if I was like irrefutable proof, fuck it. I would too. I'd get up here on air. I'd be like, folks, we have a very serious broadcast today on the Global Reality. I got to tell you, we have irrefutable proof that the world is going to end in a year. And fuck it, let's party. Ha ha! Party at my house, bitches. I got the Peruvian blow from Warren Buffett. Let's go. Woohoo! We have a lot of news tonight. We have a ton of news. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about, a bunch of stories. We're going to be jumping right into those head first now tonight with you here, and I don't even know where to begin. Yet again, this has been quite the week for news. We had an attempted assassination attempt on Mahmoud Ahmadinejad this morning that turned from a bomb to a grenade and then transformed itself again into a firecracker in a matter of mere hours. But I tell you, regardless of that, yeah, they tried to come out and say, oh, no, it wasn't an assassination attempt. No, it wasn't. It was a firecracker. But even in the articles where they said, oh, it was just a firecracker, they forgot to take out the solid gold fucking quote of the week from Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. You guys ready for this? This to me is just the gold quote of the week right here. Here we go. You ready? Quote: "Stupid Zionists have hired mercenaries to assassinate me." Oh, shit. I'm putting that on a t-shirt, dude. That's going on a t-shirt. Stupid Zionists have hired mercenaries to assassinate me. That is going on a t-shirt. I gotta, because I have a t-shirt already that's blue that has an Israeli flag on it with blood splattered across it, and it says "fuck the Mossad" on it. Oh, it goes over well down here in Bible Belt, Texas. Let me tell you, they love it. Oh, they love it. They love it when you have Israeli flags with blood on them. They don't know what the fuck the Mossad is, but they see that Israeli flag with blood on it. They're like, "You a Nazi, ain't you, boy? We like you. You come on in here and you get your dinner for free because you're a Nazi and you hate Jews. Come on in here, boy. We're taking care of you." That's a good That's a good God-fearing white Aryan brother right there. Come on in here, Mr. Reeves. We know it. So we know that you hate the Jews just like we do. And I don't hate Jews. I don't hate anybody except really hate is one of those energies they want us to engage in. They want us to constantly be hating things and everything else. But I'm sorry. That's I've got to put that on a t-shirt, dude. I'm sorry. That's just pure gold by Mahmoud on the Ahmadinejad. Dude, here we go. One more time. Ready? You ready? One more time. Stupid Zionists have hired mercenaries to assassinate me. Sounds like the story of my life. All right. Let's see. See what else we have. Pat Robertson's group sues to stop mosque near New York's Ground Zero. Yeah, I'm back here in the news. I'm back here to tell you that I don't want there to be no mosque down there by the Ground Zero, and they're all going to go to hell and die because they're evil tailheads. I hate them all. I'm Pat Robertson. I love you, and I'm here to tell you that the people of Haiti deserve what they got because they've been engaging in all that witchcraft down there. All right, well, we got to go to a commercial. Now, here is a commercial from our fine sponsor. I hope you like it. Pat! You are doing a good job, Pat. Satan will give you your special treat tonight. I know the kind of treat you like, Pat. Satan's tube snake covered in shorts. Here, back to you, Patty boy. But just remember, after the 700 Club is over, your ass is mine. And so, yeah, I mean, it's, totally ridiculous. Here's more of the priest class. Here's more of them, in their fucking Crusades 2.0, blah, blah, blah. What more can I tell you? We talked about more of this and more about the race baiting, more about the stuff for armed conflict, more about how they're trying to engineer and put into the hearts and minds the idea of people getting, of Obama getting assassinated and the rest of this stuff. We've seen that more and more. And of course, remember back, I don't know if you guys remember this back, I about shit on myself. Right back around the elections back in 2008, there was a home shopping network that was selling these coins. This is, I think it was before he was even elected. It had John F. Kennedy on one side of the coin. And on the other side, it had Barack Obama. And I'm sitting here going, my God, they're going to fucking shoot this guy. And it seems to me that they're really starting to try and put that more and more into the consciousness of people that, at some point they're going to assassinate Obama. Carnival cancels shoot a dart at Obama game. So apparently, and what's interesting is this picture, and I'll put a link to this in the chat room. This is bizarre because in this picture of this alleged carnival game called Shoot a Dart at Obama, if you look in the background, there are stars and what appear to be spaceships and aliens in the background. There is a big green reptilian-looking alien to the left of the depiction of Barack Obama with a red devil-like tail, the classic gray alien type of eyes that are red, and then this gray alien that has horns. It looks like a reptilian. It's green. It looks like a reptilian. He has a third eye. And Obama is dressed like Mahmoud Ahmadinejad with a fucking members-only jacket on, and he's got antennas sticking out of his head. What the fuck? Because, I mean, we've had all this stuff, about, oh, well, contrary to popular belief, I'm not an alien. But look at that. That's just fucking bizarre. And I haven't seen anybody else point this out. Look, there's a fucking reptilian green alien with a third eye and a devil tail to the next of him. There's spaceships and shit in the background. And there's a picture of a little kid about to fucking bust a cap on Barack Obama. Look at that. And they're saying, oh, yeah, now they canceled it. But look, is that not fucking bizarre? Regardless of whether or not they're going to do it or not, Obama has antennas, there's spaceships in the background, and there's a goddamn reptilian alien with a third eye standing next to him. I mean, you want to fucking convince me that we're not living in bizarro world. Fine, go for it. But we're living in fucking bizarro world, buddy. Look at that shit. That's got to be one of the weirdest fucking things I've seen in a while, man. That is fucking insane. You know, the world's biggest killers, what do they want to do? They want to give the killers more money. That's just what we need. Speaking of just what we need, how about this? I'm going to put the picture in the chat room before I talk about this, because this is something I want you to be able to see a picture of as I describe it, because I want you to laugh along with me when I laugh at this, even though I know it's not a joke, because you're probably going to see these motherfuckers over the fucking skies of America in the next few years. But I just want everybody to get a good belly laugh out of this like I did. God damn it. It didn't paste the picture. Well, there's the link anyway. I wanted the picture. Anyway, this is, there we go. There it is. DARPA moves a step closer to its flying Humvee. Look at that. Double click on that picture and bring it up. Oh, snap, son. Oh, shit. You know what's going down up in here. You can't even be hard in 2010 if you ain't got a fucking Humvee with some spinners and some motherfucking wangs on it, bitch. I mean, seriously. Man, let's put some spinners on mine. Look at that shit. No kidding, dude. That's going to be, you imagine when those start flying around the ghetto? When the crack dealers start flying around those? Oh, it's going to be on then. In the spring, the futurists at DARPA rethought troop transport. Instead of adding armor or changing the shape to deflect bomb blasts, the agency reasoned, why not leap it into the sky at the first sign of danger or inconvenience? That's exactly what DARPA's Transformer project is supposed to be, a mashup of a helicopter plane and an armored truck. Boy, that'd be just, that. You know, where would you need one of those the most at? Well, we've already decimated Iraq. Afghanistan, we fucked them 7 ways to Sunday. They ain't going anywhere. Oh, it'd be great over the skies of America and the Declaration of Martial Law or something, wouldn't it? The AAI Corporation, a Maryland-based aerospace and defense company, won a $3.5 million contract with DARPA to see if the technology behind the Transformer can, well, get off the ground. Aviation Week reports, based on so-called compound helicopter technology that the company is developing with Carter Aviation Technologies, the gist is that AAI's design for the Transformer envisions it to carry 4 soldiers on the road as a car, but the rotor blades on top allow it to take off vertically into the air. The car's takeoff functions are supposed to be automated, so soldiers or Marines don't have to be aviators to get it off the ground. Oh, so it's going to be automated. Oh, so it'll just be, you know, it'll go right into the command and control functions of Caesar or whatever supercomputer they're using, right? Just like the AVs, the UAVs, and the unmanned aerial vehicles and the Reapers and all that stuff do. So shit, man, you ain't even got to fly this fucking thing. You just drive around. The first time you see shit, you're like, oh, fuck it. Let's fly out of here. And it just, boom, hauls ass and takes off, all automated. Oh, that's killer, dude. That's a fucking river runner right there. Wait till the cartels down in Mexico get their hands on those. Shit. You thought you had a problem with illegal immigration. Now, oh, man. Wait till they're like, meow. Fuck you, fuckers. We come over. I mean, it's gonna be insane. Wow. So, well, leave it to the boys in white lab coats at DARPA to always come up with some more useless and interesting technology. Wow. I got to tell you, I wasn't expecting the flying Hummer in my lifetime, but you know, who was? So that's the main thing that I'm here to tell you is that if you want to fight the New World Order, that don't react to the things that they tell you and the things that Alex Jones tells you. If you want to listen to that stuff for entertainment, fine. But at the point when it starts to make you want to jump and run, and some people do want it, you know, and I say let them have it. There are a lot of people that are ready to go out there and fight and die for the country and get out there and I'm going to fight the New World Order with my shotgun. I don't give a damn if they got what? They ain't got drones, man, robot, AI, computers. I don't give a fuck about that. You know, here comes a big X-37B with a particle beam weapon on it. Blows you out of the fucking, turns you into barbecue, Bubba. I mean, give me a break. But, yeah, it's all going to play out like a script, and I'm going to sit back and kick back with my fucking cheeseburger on top of my cock and a 40 ounce of malt liquor and just watch it all fucking play out. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let these assholes kill themselves. Fuck them. They want to get out there and kill themselves. Let them. They want to get there and have a civil war. Let them. Fuck them. You know, if it'll get rid of some of these non-critical thinking assholes, maybe I will get behind civil war. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. Oh, the militias want... Hey, go on. Yeah, go on, get it. Yeah, you guys go fight. Put on your fucking VMAS and get out there and go have your little civil war. Go have fun with that. Wipe each other out, and maybe we won't have to listen to you anymore. Thank you. They're only going to put you in that camp if you fucking make a move against them, dumbass. They're not going to come and fucking knock down your door and drag everybody away to camps and take everybody to the fucking showers and the fucking ovens. If they did that, they'd have something on their hands they couldn't stop. And they still need us. Don't forget that. That's the whole thing. This is about information. It's always been about information, and it will always be about information. And it's when things try to come into the picture that don't have anything to do with the information itself is when you start to have problems. And unfortunately, people have lost their critical thinking skills and have been led that way. So that's how she goes. I mean, this is why I've been telling people for years these militias are ops. You know, a militia was never supposed to be something you had a Facebook and a MySpace and business cards for and advertised and just said, oh, yeah, I'm in this militia and it's on the internet. That goes against the whole premise of what the militias were originally supposed to be. Militias were supposed to be citizen patrols, citizen people who got together in secret. Now you got, you know, these motherfucking militias out there telling her, oh, yeah, my militia, here's our website, here's our Facebook and our MySpace. We even tweet when we have meetings and when we're cleaning our guns. I'm cleaning my 50 cal right now. I better go and tweet that. I mean, these guys are fucking operators, folks. Nobody in a real militia would ever do that. And these stupid ass fucking bitches posing on their MySpace and their Facebook with their guns. Don't be showing people your fucking guns. That's your private thing that you don't need to tell anybody about. Nobody besides you and your family should know how many guns you have, where they are, or anything else. I'm sorry. You got to call those people for what they are. Those types that pose on their goddamn MySpaces and Facebook and everything else with their fucking, oh, look at me, I got short shorts on and you can see my cooter almost. But there, I'm holding a 50 cal. I mean, it's just, it disgusts me. It makes me want to puke. And you bitches are not hot. Let's just be clear. Oh, and you guys hear about this? Apparently now, we have a vampire that's going to run for president. And this guy really doesn't look like a vampire to me. He looks like I don't know. He looks like gay Neil Young vampire. I don't know. That's what he looks like to me. So we have a gay Neil Young vampire running for president. There he is. Look, it's gay Neil Young vampire. Look at the picture. I put it in the chat room for you. There it is. Look. Tell me that's not gay Neil Young vampire. You can't argue that. Look, it's gay Neil Young vampire. Anyway, this guy's going to run for president now, and why not? Hell, the gay Neil Young vampire probably do better than Black Jeebus. That's too funny. You can't make it up, though. Many people have a problem with our two-party electorate system. They feel the parties make it impossible for anyone with a long-standing political connections to ever have a chance of becoming a leader. And the prominence of those parties means the independent candidates are basically just wasting their time. Frankly, one must wonder how fair our democracy is when half our presidents seem to be related to each other. That being said, here's a news story about a 2012 hopeful who thinks he's a vampire. This morning, ABC News took a look at 76 people who have already filled out paperwork to run in the up-and-coming presidential election. The most interesting, perhaps, is Jonathan the Impaler Sharkey. Sharkey is a vampire. You can tell because he wears dark clothes and sunglasses, and because the Impaler has become a popular nickname and like forever. Well, my God, isn't that funny? They start this article out and say, "Oh yeah, well, how fair is our democracy when all the presidents seem to be related to each other?" Yeah. How about all of our goddamn presidents, including Obama, including Bush, on and on and on and on, connected to 7 Ways to Sunday, the royal family, and everybody else? Guess who they're all blood related to? Brad Pitt and all the rest of them. Vlad the Impaler. This is a sick joke. I mean, literally, these bloodlines are literally in the same bloodline as Dracula. Not for real. Like, seriously. And then they have they're running a vampire as president. They want to say that he does kind of look like Nathan Explosion, doesn't he? Yeah. I'm going to run for president. It's going to be brutal. Yeah, that's too funny. I guess that's the whole thing of hindsight, is that you just start to realize that if you can't express yourself in the proper way. That was another thing. I couldn't say this, or I couldn't say that word, or talk about this because of FM stations. And I just feel like such a hypocrite, because everybody talks and bitches and pisses and moans about the First Amendment and free speech, but then they stifle their own free speech. Or don't say this, don't say fuck or shit or cock or cunt or pussy. Let it fly. And why are we placating to the FCC? Why are we worried about what the FCC thinks about what we say on a micro FM station that they won't license you for anyway? I never understood that either. Could never wrap my mind around that. All the guys at work would always be like, oh, we can't say this word or that word because of the stations that carry the micros, and they won't carry our shows anymore if we say cuss words. And I'm like, well, that's not your problem. That's their problem. They're operating an FM broadcaster that the FCC won't license anyway. It's not legal because there's no legal way to go through it. So technically, there's nothing they can do about it anyway. So I never understood that whole dynamic of, oh, this, that, and the other. And it just seemed like another way to stifle people's speech. And that's what I find more and more. The people out there who won't challenge this stuff of Alex Jones, and won't bring up the CMPA information, and won't say what it is for what it is, and bring out the real truth reality of it, are helping along that phony controlled movement, and helping along that control mechanism. And in my mind, and the way I see it, you motherfuckers are going to be just as guilty when it's all said and done as the people who have been perpetrating this. Those of you who had an opportunity to stand up and had an opportunity to call out this stuff and didn't, I consider to be just as much as the enemy as anybody else. Because you're aiding and abetting the enemy for not saying the things you know are true, because you're a scared little bitch who worries about what your peers and your other little jerk-off buddies on the internet are going to think about you. And you know who you are. You hang out mostly in Lee's chat room. You know who you fuckers are. You got nothing better to do than circle jerk on your little fucking laptop from CENTCOM or wherever you're running your op this week. Come in making stuff up out of the clear blue yonder about people, and then think that that's going to stick and you're going to have people buy it. And it's funny, those people are always love Alex Jones. They didn't. Well, you never notice how the ops are always the biggest Alex Jones fan. Why is that? I don't know. I mean, every once in a while you go out in public, though, and, you see somebody, you're like, oh, Jesus, fuck Christ, please don't let that guy breed. You know what I'm saying? No bullshit. Seriously. Not even being mean at all. Tell me that each and every one of you probably saw somebody like that today. You know that in the past week, you have looked at one person probably waiting in line just to fucking, in a hurry to get somewhere, and you're standing behind this motherfucker getting his 50 lotto tickets, and he's standing at the fucking, and you're just wait, you want to get like, a pack of rolling papers or something. You're trying to get out of there quick. And this motherfucker's standing in front of you for like 30 minutes getting his goddamn, oh man, you're just like, and you see him and he's just like, and he looks like Sloth from fucking the Goonies. Tongue, scratch off. You're just like, Jesus, fuck, God, don't let that thing breed. Kill it before it breeds. Oh my God. No kidding. I mean, sometimes I see where eugenics is I see where sometimes it seems like a plausible thing to do. I really do. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's down here in Texas. I don't know. Maybe we got a bunch of inbreds down here. That's for sure. My God. Fuck, I'm probably inbred myself. No shit. That's why, man, I'm no kidding. I probably am inbred. Probably am. I wouldn't fucking surprise me in the least bit. Fuck, where people are on my dad's side of the family. God damn. They live down there in the fucking country with a K. Woo, doggies. It's the country down there. They look at me like I'm from fucking Jupiter when I go to that area of the world. I ain't even lying to you, man. I go to that area of the world. They look at me like I'm from fucking Jupiter. What planet did you come from? The planet where we know how to read. That's where I came from. Anyway. Oh, this is a great one because I've noticed people doing this, and I want to bitch slap every single one of them. OMG, when did we start talking like TXT messages? Susan Mouser's 16-year-old daughter often calls out over her shoulder as she leaves the house. Sure, actual words would be better, but mom knows not to complain. A mother of teenagers is pathetically grateful for an I love you no matter what form it takes. Then there are the various forms of LOL that our teens use in regular parlance. It becomes a conjugable verb by now. And of course, then there's the saltier acronym used by son Bill, WTF, Mom. But before you judge, note that former VP candidate Sarah Palin just used that one in a TV interview, and CNN Anderson Cooper used it on his show. So okay. So it's justified because Sarah Palin said WTF or LOL in an interview, and Anderson Cooper did it too. So it's justified because those two clowns did it. My God. Can you believe this shit? This is the literal dumbing down of society, folks. I heard somebody say, oh, WTF, man, WTF. I'm like, if you don't say what the fuck to me, you continue to say WTF, I'm going to bitch slap you with a George Carlin CD. You got me? My God. I wish George Carlin would have lived long enough to see this. He'd be all over this shit. Oh, LOL, man. What the fuck? I just lolled at that. Shit. I'm LMAFO over here, dude. WTF. OMG. It's just fucking retarded. I mean, if you need any more proof that of this social engineering, this, dumbing down, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do for you. And the Butcher of Waco Reno Part 2, The Return, the Ponatalo, that's what I call her. I mean, didn't they just repackage fucking the Butcher of Waco, Janet Reno, and put her in a new fucking cryo body or something and roll her out as Napolitano? I mean, seriously. That's a man, baby. Elena Kagan, that's a man too. Lady Gaga, that's a man. The United States is facing a heightened threat of attacks from extremists, possibly the highest since the attacks of September 11, 2001. Oh my God. There is no question that we have made many important strides in securing our country from terrorism since 9/11, but the threat continues to evolve. And in some ways, the threat today may be at its most heightened state since the attacks nearly 10 years ago. Napolitano, appearing before the House Homeland Security Committee, said that al-Qaeda still represents a threat to the United States, despite its diminished capabilities, and that the nation also faces threats from a number of al-Qaeda associates that share its violent extremist ideology. Fear sauce, fear sauce. Hungry? Have some fear sauce. Plenty of it to go around. Plenty of it. We're just drowning in fear sauce. Find that stuff anywhere you go. My God. These love notes were called billets. The men of Rome would draw a billet, and the woman whose name was on it became his sexual lust partner, with whom he would fornicate until the next Lupercalia, or February 14th. Thus, February 14th became the day of unbridled sexual lust. So if I pull your name out of a box, oh, ladies, you're going to love this. So if I pull your name out of a box, you have to have sex with me until the next February 14th. Can we institute this rule, please? I'm down with this. I mean, leave it to Western culture or culture in general to turn something as badass as that into a day where everybody, oh, baby, let me give you roses and prove my love to you that I didn't prove to you the other 364 days of the year. Let me make it all right here, baby. Here, let me take you out to Red Lobster. And here, I'll even spring for the shrimp cocktail tonight. Here you go. Here's a big heart with some candy in it so you can keep putting some pounds on that big old ass that I like. Come on, here it is. I mean, no, that's not as interesting as let's, I pull your name out of the box and you have to fuck me until next February 14th. That's all there is to this. I don't take you to dinner. I don't buy you candy in a box shaped like a heart. I don't bring you roses. I pound the shit out of your vagina until next year. Period. Okay? We're reinstituting this. I'm bringing this back. Who's with me? Ladies, I'm bringing this back. That's all there is to it. Now that I know the truth, and that's what we're after here on this show, now that I know the truth about Valentine's Day, this is what we're doing. Okay? I draw your name out of a box. I'm pounding that ass for the next year. That's it. That's all there is to it. Talking about Be My Valentine. Fuck yeah. No wonder. See, it all makes sense to me now. This is why this is why, oh, will you be my Valentine? It's like, that's kind of a shitty way of putting it. Will you be my Valentine? No, will you be my, will you be my glory hole for the next year? My goodness. Only problem is I'm probably going to be sitting around with an empty box with no ladies' names in it. That's probably going to end up happening. I'll end up drawing the name of my sex doll out of the box every time. Like, oh fuck, it's Rubbery Suzanne again. Shit. God damn it. That's been 10 years in a row I've had Rubbery Susan pulled out of the box. I want a different Valentine. Man. How about Pocket Pussy Penny or whatever, let's get somebody different in here. But no, really, I mean, that's a totally different, that changes everything. I mean, we always do this whole Valentine's thing was a joke, but my God. I mean, these people, this is what, to me, this is, this is what the priest class have been up to, folks. Seriously, I'm not even trying to be funny. They've taken everything and made it worse, not better. The color red was also sacred to that day because of the blood and of the heart shape that is popular to this day. The heart shape was not a representation of the human heart, which looks nothing like it. The shape represents the human female matrix, or opening to the chamber of sacred copulation. Oh, yeah, baby. We're going to have some sacred copulation tonight. You're going to let me in your heart. And by heart, I don't mean the one in your chest. When the Gnostic Catholic Church began to get a foothold in Rome around 3rd century AD, they became known as Valentinians. The Catholic Valentinians retained the sexual license of the festival in what they called angels in the nuptial chamber, which was also called the sacrament of copulation. This was said to be a reenactment of the marriage of Sophia and the Redeemer, as the participants of the February 14th ritual began their sexual sacrament, presided over by and watched by the priests known as Valentinians. The following liturgy was spoken. Quote, "Let the seed of light descend into thy bridal chamber. Receive the bridegroom. Open thine arms to embrace him. Behold, grace has descended upon thee." As time went on, the Orthodox Church suppressed the Gnostic Catholics and manufactured St. Valentine, whose day continues to be celebrated in these modern times. It should be without saying that the Christians should avoid Valentine's Day like a plague. In God's eyes, it's still Lupercalia, the day of the wolf, when men become wolves. Yeah, men become wolves because they're fucking. That's the whole thing. It was supposed to be about fucking. The whole thing was about fucking. And random fucking at that. I mean, it's about fucking strange ass. That's what this day is about. This is the day we celebrate fucking strange ass. That's what it is. I've never met you. You never met me. We don't know each other from Adam. But by God, if I pull your name out of that box, you are fucking me for the next year. And I'm fucking you for the next year, too. Maybe you're not attracted to me. You know, maybe you're that girl that I see sitting at the back of the bar every time I go. It's, you know, pretty large. And I avoid her like the plague. I mean, you know, it may not be a good thing. Maybe you don't want to pound that ass for a year. But you know what? Fuck it. That's what it's about. You got to do it. Oh, this is unbelievable. So anyway, yeah, that's the moral of the story. Valentine's Day has been turned into candy and Olive Garden instead of pounding some random ass. You just can't buy what they sell you, man. Think for yourself, gain an understanding, and begin to figure out why knowing all this stuff is important. And I just, you know, I get frustrated because one of the things I've heard from people through the years is, you know, I've had people say to me, well, you know what? I am 100%, you know, I 100% believe anything that you might tell me about any of this stuff. Wouldn't doubt any of it for a second, Josh. Wouldn't doubt that one thing you tell me on this for a second would be true. But I just choose personally not to, just to ignore it and not worry about it. And that's a dangerous road. Dangerous road. Because you know what? I'll tell you this. And this is something I can say from experience, what I've seen in people. When you do that, this stuff comes knocking on your door a whole hell of a lot quicker than it does when you're paying attention to it. That's a fact. And the people who try to, you know, engage in the ostrich syndrome and just say, well, you know, no, I mean, I know it's real. I know it's true. But I just choose to ignore it. I choose not to worry about it. I can't, man. You know what? You are the motherfucker it's going to come and hit first. You're the motherfucker it's going to whose roost it's going to come home on first. That's just how it is. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it, man. People said that to me, you know. They don't doubt anything that I have to say about this stuff is true, but they don't want to know about it. They don't really want to look into it, and they don't really want to, you know, pay attention to what me or anybody else is saying about it because they just want to ignore it, but yet know it's there. You know, again, that apathy road. Why is it that we're so obsessed with apathy? Apathy's retarded. It just is. And we just love apathy, don't we? We just love that whole thing. Oh, well, you know, oh, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. You know, there ain't nothing I can do about it, man. Fuck it. Fuck that shit. Well, you know, yeah, I know they're doing it. I know this, that, but, you know, fuck it, man. I just want to get drunk, man. You know, I don't go down with New World Order or any of this stuff. I mean, shit's fucked up, man. You know, the whole world's fucked up. You got to leave people running it, man. But I can't do nothing about it, man. I got to go down here and work at the Quickie Mart tomorrow. I got my wife on my ass. I can't be worried about what they're doing. Well, you know what? Think about all the things in your life you wish were better. And then realize that all those things could be better if you were paying attention. Because if you were paying attention, at least then you would know the source of your misery. At least then you would know why you're stuck working this shitty job that you have and why you were programmed into living out and playing out this life that you have. You're playing out and living out this life that you have because at some point in the game, probably when you were in your maturing late teen years, 16 to 18, 19 to 20, someone convinced you that the way that you are a good person is to live your life and do things in exactly the same way that everybody else does it. Go to school, go to college, get a job, get married, have kids, repeat cycle. Somebody along the way convinced you that that's what you had to do to be normal. And if you decided that you didn't want to go to school and go to college and find a mate and have kids and you know, work the 9 to 5, that you could still be happy and live a life that would be okay without having to submit yourself to this endless cycle where everybody is, you know, just the same. But that's where the source of most misery comes from. Is because, you realize along the way that, my God, my whole life has been lived for somebody else. Because I can tell you this, it's much easier to deal with this stuff and understand it and figure out ways to operate outside of it when you know what's really going on and what the whole master plan is and what the game is. For so long, up until now, we've been kept in the dark. At least now we have an opportunity to know somewhat of the operation, somewhat of the plan, at least enough to be able to warn people not to go along with it. This is unprecedented. We haven't had this power as a people ever before on this planet. You understand? We're so lucky. I hear all this stuff. Oh, we're going to take away your freedoms. You need to fight for the Constitution because you're going to take away your freedoms. Let me ask you a question. What freedoms do you have right now? Do you not have right now that you had at some other point in your life? I can't think of one. Other than just, the stupid police state stuff. That's really all it boils down to. Yeah, you can't go get, blistered ass drunk and drive home drunk anymore like you used to. Because they have checkpoints and all this stuff, Well, okay, they've taken away our freedom there. That's a good thing they did take away that freedom, actually. I'm glad we don't have the ability to drive drunk and kill people anymore. How hard is it to take a cab or the bus or, I just never got that. Or how hard, or why not just go to the liquor store and buy a shit ton of liquor and go home and get plowed and don't drive anywhere? I've just never understood that. But I don't know. What freedoms do what freedoms do we have not have now that we had a long time ago? I'm just trying to figure this out. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. We're in danger of losing much more than our freedoms, folks. And in many countries, they're freer than we are here. But here in the United States, you're free to be a dumbed down, programmed, phony, patriotic citizen. I'm more concerned about the survival of our species than I am the taking away of freedoms that we we don't have. People have always been paying income tax. There's been prohibition laws and all this other stuff for years and years and years. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Constitution didn't have any provisions in it for marijuana being legal or hemp being legal or any of this other stuff, did it? No. So a lot of the freedoms I can think about right now that we don't have, we didn't have in the first place. I'm just trying to deconstruct the ideologies that are touted out in the mainstream truth movement and patriot movement. So much of this stuff is overblown, but then a lot of it isn't overblown. A lot of it is true. And then a lot of the stuff is not covered or talked about and seen as fringe when it's actually more important than the topics that the mainstream truth and patriot movement are telling us we need to focus on. It's just so screwed up, man. So backwards. It'll wear you out trying to keep up with it sometimes, believe me. Whew. Hispanic psilocybin? Mexican shrooms. Just call them what they are. Dude, these are fucking Mexican shrooms, dude. Oh, shit. Dude, are you sure? Just don't drink the water with them, that's all. A local fungi with a hallucinogenic property. Dun, 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 dun. No, not hallucinogens. No, anything but that. Please, no hallucinogens. We might get a little fucking crazy if we have to be on hallucinogens. No, please, God, no. Oh, I'm tripping balls right now. Oh. The mushroom has a bell-shaped cap with a dome and lacks a ring around the stalk. Just like the objects in the 6,000-year-old mural, they say it also has stalks which vary from straight to sinuous, the same as those drawn thousands of years ago. They add in the latest issue of New Scientist magazine. But even though it is several millennia old, it is not thought to be the oldest painting showing hallucinogenic mushrooms. A mural in Algeria that may so psilocybin is 7,000 to 9,000 years old. Yeah, again. But yeah, I don't think those things are here as an accident. I think that anybody who could say that those, naturally occurring plants on this planet are not there to reconnect us with the source that our material existence are designed to keep us detached from. I would say anybody who says that they're not designed for that has never done them or has never done any good ones. I think if you've ever experienced any of those things, no matter what you think you believe or how you've been programmed, you'd be hard pressed not to say that you had a reconnection with the source and the source that exists in all things in the universe. But interesting story there. Let's continue on here tonight. NASA to shoot lasers at space junk around Earth to prevent collisions with satellites. Again, on top of this, of what we just talked about a bit ago concerning Japan and concerning the possibility of this being, the nuclear radiation event that they need to go about worldwide nuclear disarmament. I do find it very interesting that they would be rolling out this story in the midst of while, we've got a very apparent event going on that indicates that this is going to be done for the benefit of rolling out space-based weapons. There are people that believe this is going on right now, and it's a direct result of that. And this, space war with space-based weapons is already happening. There was a gentleman who put out a video that had some things in it where it was showing like this triangle-shaped object over Japan, and then it was over Canada today. When you looked at it on Google Earth, it was amazing. And you could see how the jet stream was like pushing, chemtrails were basically pushing what appeared to be the radiation cloud away from the United States and up towards Canada. And I kind of thought when I was looking at it, I was going, that's undoubtedly what it looks like they're doing. And I said, you know what, motherfuckers, I bet, because we know they can do that. That stuff's going to go right across the jet stream, folks. We know they have the technology with chemtrails and with HAARP to direct it right over. And it looked like on this video from Google Earth that that's what they were indeed doing. And I said, motherfucker, I bet you that is what they're doing. They're going to get us all fear-mongered about this. Then they're going to tell us it's a threat so they can get everybody scared, and then they'll just direct it with HAARP, because what they can't do is they can't just come out and say, well, it didn't hit us because, we use this technology to push it away, because then everybody in the world's going to be, what technology? What technology? Tell us. Well, they don't want to let that genie out of the bottle yet. So the only plausible thing they can do for that fact is to say, well, it was a last-minute miracle or something, because they're saying, oh, well, it's going to hit California Friday for sure now. So I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. A feeling it's going to be, the last minute it was a miracle. Oh, my God. Praise Jeebus. Please, give me another sip of Jesus juice. Get it in here quick. Jeebus saved us from the radiation cloud. Oh, praise Jesus. Good Lord. Yes, praise him. NASA is considering using lasers to deflect space junk around the Earth and stop it colliding with satellites. Lasers similar to those used for welding in car factories would be fired through telescopes to nudge piles of rubble left in orbit. The gentle movement would stop them from taking out communication satellites or hitting the International Space Station. The process could also avoid what is known as Kessler syndrome, where there is too much space junk flying around Earth for it to be safe to fly out, leaving us trapped in our own planet. Such a situation has been predicted by NASA for more than 30 years, and a string of recent near misses has added urgency to the need to find a solution. Now, a team led by NASA space scientist James Mason have claimed that gently moving junk off course could be the answer. The theory is that I love that. You'll just nudge it farther out there into space. I mean, shit. How come somebody didn't think of this already? All we got to do is send lasers up there. Hell, we send lasers up there. We shoot it. We nudge it. Just nudge. Make sure you use the word nudge because it's gentle. And we just nudge it a little farther out into space. I mean, hell. That's like, you guys ever watch Trailer Park Boys before? You ever seen what Ricky does on that show? Every time Ricky is trying to get rid of some garbage or a bunch of beer bottles and shit, instead of taking it out, what he does is he'll take a cooler, like he stole a bunch of meat or shit, and he'll take whatever it is, coolers, trash, and he'll throw it over the other side, over the roof, over the other side of a trailer house onto the other side. And basically for him, that just means it's gone. It's gone that's taking out the trash. Oh, it's gone. Hey, I threw it over the fucking house, man. It's gone. That's what these assholes want to do. Let's just nudge it out into space a little farther. Ain't no big deal. Push it on out there. Eventually it'll float away. Probably get to the sun and burn up. Ain't no biggie. My goodness. Well, I mean, we might as well get out there and throw some duct tape at it too. Hell, while we're at it, shit, can't hurt. Yeah. Fucking high definition piss jugs. Fucking, yeah. He's fucking firing them off around the park and shit. It's ridiculous. Man, let's see what else we have here tonight. Violent Tea Partier arrested at Democratic rally in Houston. A man waving a Tea Party flag was arrested in Houston, Texas, after he charged the microphone at a Democratic rally. And then that's all they say about it. It's so funny. Because, this is the type of mentality they're breeding in people. I'm going to take over the mic and talk about my company, by God. Burr, burr, burr. I'm standing up for the Constitution. Go ahead and stand up for those white aristocratic slave owners, motherfucker. Go right ahead. Yeah, we're right behind you. Get in there. Anyway, that's all the news for tonight. And I think you'll join me in a real big one of these. Fuck the motherfucking news. Oh, there's so much here. Oh, yeah. Youth pastor sexually exploited teens to help them gain purity. We're gonna fuck for the Lord. We're gonna fuck for the Lord. We're gonna fuck for the Lord. Praise God. I'm gonna bring your purity out of you, little boy. Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. A former youth pastor arrested in Iowa on 60 counts of suspicion of sexual exploitation allegedly told teen boys he was trying to help them gain sexual purity in the eyes of God. I tell you, God loves it when you take it in the pooper. Take it in the pooper for Jesus, boys. Yes, that's how you do it. My goodness. Isn't that kind of like, bombing for peace is like fucking for virginity? Kind of what I see that as. My goodness, it's out of control. And you knew this was coming, because it's all about subterfuge. It's all about confusion. It's all about, let's get people so they don't know what the fuck to think. Oh, the Japanese earthquake? Oh, yeah. That was caused by Nibiru being too close to the United States, to the world. No, it was caused by supermoon. No, I believe it was caused by HAARP. Well, really? Well, I believe it was caused by Israeli subs launching missiles into the Mariana Trench. No, I believe that it was this underground city coming out of the ground, rising, and that's what caused it. No, I believe a bunch of dysfunctional douchebags launched it. No, I believe Stuxnet launched it. Well, it's all these various scenarios. Well, here's another one for you. Jesus, oh my God.
Jesus is coming. Evangelicals think the Japan quake is a sign of the second coming. Yes, I would have to agree. Hagee says that the Jews are coming. And they're going to land little spaceships all over the world. And they're going to spread Judaism to all the land through flying saucer UFOs from God. Oh, yes, it's coming. Get ready, folks. Get ready to shit yourself with fear when Hagee comes down in a UFO with a Jews.
It's time for a change of lyrics in that kid's praise song, J is for Jesus, according to Reverend Franklin Graham. J is not for Jesus, it's for Japan as well. The evangelical son of Reverend Billy Graham and president and CEO of Christian charity Samaritan's Purse appeared on Newsmax TV to talk about his charity and how charming he thinks Glenn Beck is. And that the Bible tells us natural disasters are heavenly signs. Yes, God. I love it. That just get everybody freaked out and confused. Okay, that's the plan. You ready? Go. Unbelievable shit here. We live in a cyber cocoon enveloping the earth. Imagine what the consequences might be. Yeah, it'll be like that fucking Testament song. 3 Days of Darkness in 2012. You know, that's who was it that talked about that? Wasn't the Hopis or something that prophesied that too? I swear I want to say it was the Hopis or something that talked about 3 days of darkness and all this stuff. And if you survive through that, you know, and you didn't go nuts or you could just survive the 3 days, you know, you'd be fine after that. Imagine large cities without power for a week, a month, or a year. The losses could be $1 to $2 trillion, and the effects would be felt for years. The sun has a storm cycle of around 12 years. Oh, well, imagine that. Imagine if we didn't have electricity or something for a year. Oh, my God. Oh, we'd have to figure out how to be real people again, wouldn't we? That'd go out and forage for our own food and cook on it, you know, on a fire. We'd have to actually go out and talk to each other and actually have to go and we wouldn't have any entertainment. So we'd actually have to go listen to analog music. And analog music is this kind of music that's actually created and played live by a human, by a person, like on the spot. Yeah, we'd actually have to go out and you know, and do that for entertainment again. I say bring it. Fuck it. You know, it's the idiots going crazy when they can't get their internet porn, and the soccer moms that can't go to the Gap and spend their husband's money is when you're going to have problems. That's motherfuckers you got to worry about first. When listen, get a pen, write this down. When the shit goes down, the first motherfuckers you take out are the motherfuckers that are watching porn and the motherfuckers that are housewives. They're going out and spending their husband's money and going to the Gap and going to the mall. Those are motherfuckers you take out first. You see one of them, you shoot first, you ask questions later. Those are motherfuckers that are going to go ape shit when the stuff goes down. As soon as they shut off internet porn, riots. Dude, they can fucking shoot toddlers in the head on the White House lawn. And people ain't going to give a fuck. They'll still say, well, he's only been in there 4 years. He can't do nothing in 4 years. He's shooting toddlers in the head on the White House lawn. Well, it's Bush's fault anyway. But you shut off that porn, baby, and there is going to be fucking bedlam. So, again, you know, when the shit goes down, you better be ready. Shoot the fucking soccer moms and the porno fucking kings first. Jesus Christ. What would we do in a world without internet porn? Jeez, I don't know. The way we used to do it? Fucking magazines. Remember that shit when you had to stroke it analog? Jeez. It's like people wouldn't dare touch a magazine. It's a magazine? You kidding? I'm jerking off to that. I got a computer. Fuck you. Well, we talked about the eugenic coaster, this theoretical thing, and I joked about, the Devastator, 2 whole minutes underwater. And, that was all well and fine when because that was just a theoretical design and, they probably won't ever make it. Well, unfortunately, they already have made one that has the potential to kill, and it's actually already been built, and it's actually about to start having people ride on it. The problem is, though, all their test dummies that they've had on this thing have been completely dismembered. They have their arms ripped off. They can't seem to get the test dummies' arms not to be ripped off. So I guess this is the limb taker. A theme park in London is set to debut a powerful new winged roller coaster this month. Oh, it's in England. I should have known. Yeah, all the eugenic stuff. It's probably this is the Tavistock coaster. Oh yes, cheerio, mate. Come down and ride the eugenic coaster. Ride the Tavistock coaster with me, your host, David Icke. I'll be giving a 15,000-hour seminar on how you can change your consciousness, mate. You only need to look at the Rothschilds. You needn't look any further, mate. We're going to come down here and raise the awareness and the consciousness on this ride. Oh, Jesus! It always starts there first. But they have to figure out first how to not dismember its riders. Time reports that Thorpe Park has been conducting test runs of its new coaster, the Swarm, even enlisting fighter pilots who describe the ride as gut-wrenching. Now, when I was a young lad, before I got into punk rock and realized that we were being lied to, I was 13, 12, 13, and young and didn't know anything. I was really into jets and used to go to air shows and, all that stuff. I thought I wanted to be a pilot when I was younger. So I got all into it. But, one of the things I remember reading is that fighter pilots, when they're pulling a large amount of G's, they black out, while they're operating a plane and stuff. And it's very, very grueling on the body to operate one of these planes. Well, these fighter pilots who rode this coaster said it was gut-wrenching. When a fighter pilot says that, folks, not good. So it looks like they actually, not only is the eugenic coaster a reality, it's already here. Listen to this. The self-described flight through apocalyptic devastation on Europe's tallest winged roller coaster propels up to 28 riders at a time with their arms and legs dangling freely at 62 miles per hour, and includes trips through an inverted 127-foot drop and several close encounters with walled structures that are designed to make passengers feel like they are about to crash. The ride's designers ran some test runs with crash test dummies, leaving many shocked when the dummies returned from the experience missing arms and legs. A team of former British fighter pilots were then brought in as the coaster's preparation neared completion. Mark Cutmore, team leader of the Blades, a stunt pilot organization, told the Metro, "I'm a self-confessed adrenaline junkie. But even as a pilot used to G-force, there were some gut-wrenching moments, and I have to admit the near-miss element is eye-watering. You really do feel as if you're going to crash into the ground." You watch. There'll be fucking arms and legs popping off people left and right on this fucking thing, and there'll be people lined up for miles to ride it. Oh, yeah, dude, my buddy came in here last week, dude, yeah. He lost an arm and a leg, dude, yeah. But his sister only lost her leg, so that's cool, I'm hoping if they have to take one, I'm hoping they take my left, though, So let me make sure that I get to sit on the inside cart, because I need to keep my right hand. They can take my left leg and take my left arm. For God's sakes, leave my jerking hand. You know what I mean? That's just let's get down to brass tacks here. All right, what else we got here? This is interesting, and this sort of ties in with what we're talking about. I'm wondering what. It's very interesting. You've got this satellite that NASA was. Well, I'll just read the article. $534 million launch of NASA's Glory satellite. What? The Glory Hole satellite? No, not the Glory Hole satellite. Oh, the Glory satellite. NASA's Glory Hole satellite. We're going to stick penises through a hole in outer space to aliens. The launch of NASA's Glory satellite was abandoned earlier today, 5 minutes before takeoff due to engineering problems. The $424 million mission, good God. Who's footing the bill for that one? You and I. $424 million mission has been postponed until tomorrow, the same day that the Discovery will make its final ride into orbit. Officials at a military base in Central California delayed the launch of the Taurus XL rocket, which is carrying an Earth observation satellite. Earth observation satellite. Is that a fancy word for spy satellite? What an Earth? Is that what they're calling it now? Well, we don't call them keyhole satellites anymore. No, we don't call them spy satellites. We call them Earth observation satellites. It's a politically correct, very friendly, very fluffy name. The Glory Hole Observation Satellite. Yes, we are going to watch aliens. It's the new porn fad we're bringing to America. Yes, watch dicks get swung at aliens from satellites and beat off to it. Yes, the Earth Observation Glory Hole Satellite. As they met with some last-minute technical difficulties. Well, okay, so right there it just says it's an Earth observing satellite. And it says the rocket is slated for a 3-year mission to analyze how airborne particles affect the Earth's climate. What? Airborne particles? This is a fucking chemtrail monitoring satellite. No. Seriously, straight the fuck up. Dude, this is hilarious. Man, these motherfuckers ain't hiding shit anymore. I'm going to put a link to this in the chat room for you. You guys got to look at this. No shit. You guys have to look at this article. Scroll down and look at the picture in the middle of the page. This is unbelievable. It says right here, launching on Wednesday, Glory will investigate the role of aerosol particles. Now, see, the other one just said airborne particles. The little picture says aerosol particles. Well, that's what chemtrails are. They're aerosol. They're aerosol particles. My God, this is a chemtrail. They're launching a $424 million chemtrail monitoring satellite. This is a huge story. Has anybody else got this story out? Does anybody out there have a story written up right now that says $424 million chemtrail observing satellite put up by NASA? Because if not, we need to write one and get it out, because that's what this is. My goodness, I can't believe I just stumbled on this. Let me read it. Launching on Wednesday, Glory will investigate the role of aerosol particles in the Earth's atmosphere and how it affects climate change. My God. The aerosol polarimetry sensor will collect global aerosol distribution based on measurement of light reflected within the Earth's atmosphere. Oh my God, this is it. This is what I was just talking about. They're seeing how much is there and how much they need to spray in order to create the shield to keep all these fucking particles from the sun because of the activity it's going through from coming down to Earth and killing everything there. That's what it's been about all along, hadn't it? That's what it's been about. And they knew that if they told people that the sun was heating up and could wipe everything out, their power structure would fall. So they had to keep it a secret. They've been doing, oh man, this is unbelievable. That's why they've been doing this all along. I knew it had to be something like this, but then they sell us on this idea of phony global warming, right? And this idea that all our SUVs, so they jack the prices of their resources up so they can use that money to pad these operations that they're keeping in secret. All about keeping the religious power structure in place, all about keeping the New World Order in place. They keep that all in place, and then they sell us on this idea of phony global warming and get us all behind that. And meanwhile, what are we doing? We're buffering their coffers. That's what we're doing. This explains the financial collapse. This explains everything. All resources now are going towards this mitigation technology to basically keep the Earth from having everything destroyed on it. Because, not that maybe that's the right thing is supposed to happen. Maybe we are cyclically supposed to be wiped out and destroyed. But see, not on these people's watch. Not on the watch of the New World Order. They're going to keep this thing in place. This is an unbelievable story. Wow. This is a chemtrail observing satellite, folks. Total Irradiance Monitor will measure the amount of solar radiation in the Earth's atmosphere over a period of time with unsurpassed accuracy. God damn, there it is. Oh, man. Oh, this is unbelievable. I can't believe I was just talking about this. God damn. This is the next story I went to. I didn't even realize it. I didn't read it earlier when I saw this article. I just thought it looked interesting. I love when that happens. God damn. That is unbelievable, man. Look at that picture. Everybody save a copy of the image. Right click and save image on that in the middle of that page, because that's a that's a picture you're going to want to have later. Unbelievable. It says right there that it measures the amount of solar radiation in the Earth's atmosphere, folks. So they're measuring the amount of radiation in the Earth's atmosphere. They're emitting that, and they're monitoring how many aerosols are there and how it affects the climate, the hot or cold. My God. I was right. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what I've thought, man. All my years of studying chemtrails, videos of doing it, my sister doing it. Oh my God. That's what it's been all along. Everything, all available resources are going towards, that's why they canceled the space program. That's why companies are going out there. All available resources they can get, they are pushing towards this technology to keep their power structure in place. You know, not that maybe, what if this is supposed to happen? What if we were supposed to evolve past these? That's why I can't see the good in this. You know, people argue with me and say, well, you know, if they're keeping us alive, then why do you have a problem with it? Because who is deciding for us that this is the way it's supposed to be? That's my problem with it. How do we know this isn't something where there's supposed to be a cleansing by fire or something? What if this is supposed to be, the Earth is supposed to be bombarded with radiation, so we'll ascend up to light beings, to 12-strand DNA activation, as those that had been altered by heat. The theory that has developed is that asteroids in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter may have produced smaller meteorites which have shot off into space and landed on Earth. No, there weren't any things that blew up or anything and crammed to Earth. No, not at all. This also has implications for how our solar system and possibly other solar systems form. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. They've rolled this story out 10 or 15 times now, and you have to assume they have an agenda when they try to push it into the consciousness of people that much. Minority Report style shopping. That's what everybody wants, isn't it? That's the American dream, right? Walking into a store and hologram popping up and knowing exactly what you want right when you walk into the store. That's the American dream, right? It sounds like a scene straight out of Minority Report. Advertisers are developing digital posters which will recognize people's faces and respond if they are paying attention. Cameras attached to the billboards will scan to see if passersby are looking and immediately change their display to keep them watching. The posters recall the famous scene in the 2002 science fiction thriller Minority Report. Well, why don't you reference Philip K. Dick first? Before you point out the 2002 movie with Tom Cruise, why don't you first talk about the Philip K. Dick novel that it was based on? How about that? I'm sorry, it just pisses me off. Let's talk about the movie first. Oh, there's a movie. I made a book out of that movie, huh? So people always say, oh, they made a book out of it too. Well, I guess if you're a reader, that's a good thing. I ain't a reader much. The scanners also pick him up when he enters a Gap store and show him an image of a woman selling clothes. So far, the most advanced posters allow shoppers to see what clothes would look like on them by superimposing the items on a digital picture of themselves. What we are trying to do is figure out what your brain is doing, said Benjamin Palmer, chief executive of advertisers of the Barbarian Group. I can't even believe I just read that. His group is called the Barbarian Group. What the fuck? Let me post that quote there. What we are trying to figure out is what your brain is doing, said Benjamin Palmer, chief executive advertisers of the Barbarian Group. Oh, I mean, you know what I'm saying right about now. My God. That is a hell of a business name. Benjamin Palmer, old Benji Palmer. Sounds like a name for a fucking, I don't know, a Tijuana treat or something with some $5 handy. Benjamin Palmer, Chief of Executive Officer of the Barbarian Group. What we're trying to do is figure out what your brain is doing. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to hear from somebody in advertising. My God. I'm glad Bill Hicks is dead already. He'd be blowing advertisers' brains out right now if he heard this. He's going on a killing spree. Jesus. I mean, we're really there, aren't we? That's just out in the open. Yeah, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, we have advertisers, people in advertising now. Chief executive here, chief executive of advertising for the Barbarian Group, who says his direct quote is, what we're trying to do is figure out what your brain is doing, so that then we can manipulate that. If your eyes are the window into the soul, we're paying attention to what you're paying attention to. What? That's the quote after the aforementioned quote. He says, if your eyes are the window to the soul, we're paying attention to what you're paying attention to. So he just said right there, we want to know what your brain is doing so we can look into your soul. That's what, is that not what he pretty much just said right there? We want to figure out what your brain is doing so that we can pay attention to what you're doing so we can look into your soul and see how we can sell you products. Barbarian hopes this summer to introduce billboards which respond if you are paying attention, but other executives have spoken of developing technology that actually recognizes faces. If you raise your eyebrow, it can track that. Facial recognition technology has been around for some years, but only now is it heading to the shops because it is affordable to do so. The systems can detect frowning or nodding and could identify individuals raising potential privacy concerns. If you want to do something evil with it, I'm sure you could. It's the same thing with anything else technology-wise. Right, so now if you are a person of interest and you happen to go in somewhere where they have one of these facial recognition things at, well, they'll scan your face and they'll send somebody to escort you to one of their wonderful holding facilities, I'm sure, where they serve, gumdrops and lollipops all day. Anyway, let's continue on here. See what else we have in the news. Oh, this has got to be the raddest thing I've seen all day. Boba Fett plays the Legend of Zelda song on an accordion in a subway. That's nerdalicious. Absolutely nerdalicious. Boba Fett plays the Legend of Zelda on an accordion in a subway. That is a sentence I can honestly say at 34 years old, I probably thought I'd never get to say. So I had to say it. Boba Fett plays the Legend of Zelda theme on an accordion in a subway. Thank you very much. It's just the sentence you never get to say in life, What was the old George Carlin bit where he said, well, here's a sentence you'll never hear. Honey, I'm going to go into the other room and stick a red hot poker up my ass. Shit like that. Is just, well, I cut my own balls off. I'll be back in a minute. Shit like that you're never going to hear. Words you're never going to hear. Put it in a sentence together. It's greatness. All right, let me go through my rest of my stacker. Oh, hippies rejoice. VW unveils a new version of the microbus. Oh, shit. They're bringing the microbus back. I can smell the patchouli and the hippie stink from here. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. All the metrosexual hippies will be all over this. U.S. astronauts to bottle space for Japan. Why are they bottling space? I didn't think you could bottle space. Oh, I forgot. Space is actually water. It's not a vacuum. I think it is. I think it's actually every time you see these pictures from the space shuttle of those things in space, like the space serpents on it, look like they're gliding through water. And what about that footage of the Chinese spacewalk that looked fake, that everybody said it was Chinese, the China faking their spacewalk, and you could see bubbles coming up? Are they been lying to us? Is space actually not a vacuum and actually like water? I don't know. Two American astronauts begin on Monday the first of two spacewalks to install a permanent spare closet on the orbiting International Space Station and also to bottle some outer space for Japan. How can you bottle outer space? The unusual project is part of a team effort with Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, to open up a metal cylinder that has been signed by other artists, astronauts, and bring it back for public display. The so-called message in a bottle experiment, in which they will expose a metal canister to capture the vacuum of space, is planned for the end of a 6-hour experiment. How can you capture a vacuum into a container? I'm just confused by that. Anybody out there got any ideas? Anybody? I don't know. It's wild. A lot of times the people at the tip top don't know that there's a boss above them. And when they find out, they start to get real freaked out about it. That's that case in point, classic case in point for that is American presidents. It's funny, man. You see these guys. Well, I mean, Clinton, Bush, Obama, all of them. I mean, you know, they come in before when they first get elected, and they're just, you know, they're fucking king shit of fuck mountain, man. They're fucking, you know, they're hot shits on Turd Street, right? They're coming in, they're smiling, man. They got a fucking cock in their hand. They're like, yes, I am the president. Then after about a year, you see them, man, they're gray as fuck. Already go, you know, they go in the presidency, they got their hair, they're looking all good. They come, about a year after that, man, they're haggard as fuck looking. Because it doesn't take too long once you become the puppet in chief. It doesn't take too long till you start realizing, oh, wait a second, I don't run a goddamn thing. They just trot me out on cue, turn the cameras on, put the suits on, put the makeup on, put the lights on, put that shits on TV and tell everybody I'm the guy that's making decisions for things they do. So when they need somebody to blame, they need somebody to hate for the state of the world, they blame me, not the people who are above me, who are really controlling me and making me look like I'm the one to blame for all this stuff. You know, regardless if these fucking guys, and we don't know if they are or they aren't, but regardless if these guys are 8-foot blood-drinking reptiles or, you know, gray aliens or whatever else, boy, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what planet or universe you're from. That's going to wear on you, you know? You know what I mean? When you come in and, you know, you're all hot shot and cock hard thinking you're fucking, you know, and then you start to realize, oh, man, not only do I not run shit, but I've got to take the fucking heat and the blame for everything these fuckers are doing that I don't get a say in or anything else. And that's really what defines the illusion of what is president. And what's interesting about that is that even with presidencies and whatnot, they still you know, choose one of their own to be in that position. So don't get caught up in phony revolutions. Don't get caught up in armed conflicts. Don't get caught up in all this bullshit, or don't get caught up in, you know, doing street actions and going, you know, yelling half-cocked things that, you know, hey, Burt Reynolds, 9/11, there's 40,000 engineers inside Thermite Corey Rowe. You know, that's literally, I'm not even kidding you. There are videos I've seen, dude, when that's what it sounds like when people go confront these people about it's just retarded. Half of them can't speak, can't complete sentences, and god damn. Stay your ass at home, man. You're not helping the cause. I know you mean well, but god damn, dude. And there's and that also on that same token also makes it there be no excuse for people who just want to remain willfully ignorant. You know, it's a double-edged sword. Because, you know, not only is there enough information out there now to where, you know, A lot more people should be knowing the reality of what's going on in the world around them because there is so much information. But at the same time, the people who have wanted to and wish to remain willfully ignorant, there's no excuse for them either. There's just no excuse why anybody should, deny a lot of things that people still try to deny right now when there's just years and years worth of admitted material from official sources. So those type of people that continue to engage in willful ignorance, I mean, you got to let the dead bury the dead. Because at some point, those people are going to become a detriment to, they become a detriment to a world that's going to be created after this power structure fails. I mean, I hate to have to put it that way. But they are. Why? Because there are some people who, no matter how much evidence they have, wish to remain suckled at the teat of the power structure indefinitely. That happiness in slavery, loving your enslavement. You realize that that's been actually... These guys have openly said in your face that they want you to have happiness in your servitude. I mean, Huxley said it. And look at his connections to eugenics and all the rest of it. I mean, and they've done it. And that's what I think you see a lot with these people that still try to deny a lot of information. It's just they really are happy to be slaves. They love being a subservient bitch of a system that just pounds in the ass in a fucking ungreased backdoor hammer time love making session every single day, and they love it. Oh, give it to me. Don't even lube it up. Taxes, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I love it. Chemtrails, I'll breathe it in and suck it down. Floor it in the water, I don't care. Give it to me. They love it. They're fans. Let's put it that way. And I think those people are going to be a detriment to a world that's going to be built by those of us out here who have pulled their head out of the gaping asshole of the Matrix. Those kind of people that, because, once the system's dead and gone, what's going to happen? What will inevitably happen? Let's say that the power structure was over tomorrow. What would inevitably be the first thing that happened? You'd have that big bunch of fucking yahoos over in the corner who couldn't fucking wait to put this damn system that just failed back into place. Oh, this is a great one, and I can just hear it now. This will probably end up being one of the new sponsors on the Alex Jones program. It'll probably be Peter Patriot Stay Hard Penis snake bite pill or spider bite pills. Spider venom that causes 4-hour-long erections could be the new Viagra. Folks, if you don't let this spider bite your cock, you're going to be in martial law. You're going to be in a food camp. That's all there is to it. Ted's going to come on today. He's going to give you some good information about some June Gold and about these new spiders that bite your cock and give you a 4-hour erection. Because I know, folks, if you're spending 16 hours a day in front of this computer like I am, and you go home and beat the hell out of your wife, and you can't get it up. And, that's what the New World Order does to you. They keep from getting an erection because they want us all to be dumbed down slaves without erections. So what we're going to be doing here now is Ted's going to come in, and the first people to buy Ted's Gold today, way over spot price, folks, way over. That's a little joke, Ted. We're also going to let this spider bite your cock, and hopefully you won't go to a FEMA camp afterwards. I mean, I can just see it. Most people who find a spider in their bedroom quickly try to get rid of it, but new research shows that one arachnid might actually be best kept by your bedside. I don't think this is not something that I'm going to be planning on letting near my Pernus anytime soon. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know about you boys, but you take a look at that. Is that what you want biting your cock? Do you really want that? I don't give a damn how long the stiffy lasts. The spider bite is probably going to keep my cock from being hard. I just going to have to go ahead and... You ever been bit by a spider before? And let me ask you this. Who was the first fucking guy that tried this is what I want to know. I mean, what fucking guy came in and said, hey, check this shit out, man. I let this fucking spider bite my cock. That shit's been hard all day. I was sticking my ear and my dick in the dog's ear. I mean, that's all I could do. Shampoo bottles, whatever I could find. Jesus. I mean, who was the first guy that did that? My God, look at that thing. Most people who find... It says a single bite from the Brazilian wandering spider has been shown to have side effects, but includes 4-hour-long erections. The 8-legged creature, also known as the armed spider, banana spider, is native to South and Central America. Scientists at the Medical College of Georgia believe the species contains a possible breakthrough for erectile dysfunction. Dr. Kenia Newens, a physiologist at the college, said that the venom of the spider is a very rich mixture of several molecules. These molecules, often called toxins, and then we have various toxins in this venom with different activity. Because of this, when a human is bitten by this spider, we can observe many different symptoms, including priapism, a condition in which the penis is continually erect. There actually is a condition of that where your cock's just fucking full on raging like 24 hours a day, walking around. Damn, that would suck. How could you, like, you know, go to the movies and stuff? Other side effects on top of the long, painful erections. Oh, cry me a river, dude. Oh, man, it sucks so bad. It won't go down ever. Includes loss of muscle control, severe pain, difficulty breathing, and if its victim is not treated with antivenom, could lead to death due to oxygen deprivation. Oh, my God. Well, you're going to have... Good news is you're going to have a woody for at least 4 hours. The bad news is your cock's going to rot off after it because a spider bit it. Oh, my God. Folks, if you don't get in here and get some of this spider venom right now, you're going to be a fume cam. That's all there is to it. Peter Patriot's Stay Hard Penis Spider Bite Pills. New at Infowars.com. That's an unbelievable story. I still want to know who the first guy was that did it, though. I still want to know. Can we talk to that guy? Can we get an interview? Can we get video footage of that guy? Well, you know, I was just kind of hanging out. I was bored, you know, and it's like, you know, fuck it, man. Let's just let this spider bite my cock. And sure enough, it swelled up pretty fast. Well, yeah, damn right, dude. You ever been bit by a spider? That shit sucks. Sucks. I mean, it sucks to get bit on your leg or your arm, much less in the pernal area. Goodness gracious. That's what we have here on the news agenda tonight. Lots of, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, lots of strange. I mean, there's not a lot of news here, but every one of these stories is just bizarre. You know, certain days, certain times. I mean, you come across stories that it blows your mind. Like, you know, the Dave Mustaine one we had a few weeks ago. Black magic ruined my life. You know, you don't expect to wake up and look at the news and see that. Lindsay Lohan freaked out by Freemason stalker. Actress tweets blurry picture of man trespassing. Apparently well, that's a good eye there, Lindsay. Did you get the dick out of your mouth long enough to see his fucking square and compass? How the fuck does she know he was a Mason? You know? I mean, just seriously. Does Lindsay Lohan strike you as the type of person that would be able to readily identify a Freemason? Unless, of course, you know, her little Disney MK Ultra ass was around that all the time. Hello? Club 33, anybody? Walt Disney World? Or Disneyland, where the fuck it is in California? The Mean Girls star posted a grainy photo of an alleged stalker on her Twitter page Monday and received his death threats and revealed his death threats, have her seriously freaked out. Quote, "This is the Freemason stalker that has been threatening to kill me while he's trespassing." She tweeted, "I'm actually scared now. The blood in the cults book was too much." Blood in the cults book. What does that mean? Well, again, she can't get the dick out of her mouth long enough to even pronounce what the name of the book is. I'm actually scared now. The blood and the cult in the book, so it's too much. Get the dick out of your mouth, Lindsay. Goddamn.
Suck Satan's cock.
All my fans, my supporters, please stand by me, she wrote. A source confirmed the alleged stalker is real, but declined to explain the cryptic references to Freemasons in the cult's book. Freemasonry is the mysterious fraternal organization referenced in movies like The Da Vinci Code and National Treasure. Photo appeared, apparently a screen grab from one of Lohan's security cameras. Shows a heavy-set man with dark hair, sunglasses, and a button-up shirt in a garden-like setting. It's not clear if the photo is from Lohan's current home in Venice Beach, California. So again, no apparent. How does she know he's a Freemason? Is nobody going to ask that question? I mean, I'd like to. Lindsay Lohan fights the NWO one blowjob at a time. Well, she can fucking start right here. Come on. Nobody fights the NWO harder than me, Lindsay, so come suck it. It's fair. Man, oh man. Chicanery continues. Somebody get some smelling salts and some fucking alcohol and wake up Philip K. Dick and tell him that his shit has now come to life. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has begun field testing new technology designed to identify people who intend to commit a terrorist act. Now, pre-crime. Remember that? Minority Report? Well, listen to this. Nature reported that the Department of Homeland Security has been conducting tests of future attribute screening technology in the past few weeks at an undisclosed location in the Northeast. The technology uses remote sensors to measure physiological properties such as heart rate and eye movement, which can be used to infer a person's current mindset. According to a privacy impact assessment released by the DHS in 2008, the technology is intended to measure a person's malintent, the intent to cause harm. Now, a lot of people think a lot of things, but not everybody acts on it. Did it go around and arresting people because, maybe they thought about doing something bad at some point? We've all thought about it, but thinking about something and doing it are two different things. This is the Orwellian nightmare we've all feared for years. It's now at our doorsteps. It's not coming anymore, folks. I hope you all understand that. I hope it doesn't take my stupid ass to tell you that all the things that you heard about on these type of shows and movies and stuff like that for years, it's coming, it's coming. No. It ain't coming no more, baby. It's here. It may not have gotten to where you live yet, but it's already here. Behavioral scientists hypothesize that someone with malintent may act strangely. Yeah, you think? Show mannerisms out of the norm. Well, also, maybe getting your cock and your cunt grabbed by these child molesting and these fucking perverted cocksuckers of the TSA. Maybe that is going to make you act a little abnormal. You're about to get your shit grabbed by some, goddamn sea hag with a wart hanging off of her nose. I mean, at least get a big titty blonde or something. Give the ladies some, nice chunk of meat, or give them a stallion or something to, feel them up. They don't give you that. They give you DMV employees. That's what they give you. God almighty. The fast technology design capitalizes on these indicators to identify individuals exhibiting characteristics associated with malintent.
Suck Satan's cock, motherfucker.
The Department of Homeland Security has claimed accuracy rates of around 70%. 70%. So I mean, yeah, we're accurate about 70% of the time. Yeah, about 70%. Mm-hmm. That other 30%, though, them guys got the chair. They're fucked. But hell, 70% ain't bad. I mean, hell, them other 30%, they's going to go to the chair anyway. It don't matter. Even having an iris scan or a fingerprint read at immigration is enough to raise the heart rate of most legitimate travelers. Tom Ormond, a psychologist in the investigative expertise unit at Lancaster University, told the magazine Nature. John Verrico, spokesman for the Department of Homeland Security, said that he could not comment on the performance of FAST because the results were still being analyzed and that additional tests would continue to be conducted. Unbelievable stuff there. Unbelievable stuff. Let's see some action or let's shut the fuck up. How about that? Instead of just telling us for years and years, oh, the shit's coming. Let's see some shit, motherfuckers. What do you got, you pussies? Pull the trigger. You don't have shit. Because you pussies in the New World Order are just as fucking scared as anybody else is. You know, people act like we're supposed to be scared of these guys. These little fags like David Rockefeller. I was at the Pratt House on Friday. Fucking Mr. Burns and his liver spots. That's really what we're supposed to be afraid of. You guys want to do something, pull the fucking trigger. I'm sick of this, wars and rumors of wars and horse shit. No, this is coming and that's coming. Either do something or shut the fuck up. How about that? This is an open call and an open request to the New World Order, the elite, the Illuminati, the Jesuits, the Jews, the Vatican, the CFR, the CMP, the Freemasons, the fucking PTA, any of these groups. I don't give a fuck who they are. You're a part of this. This is an open call to you. You ready for this? Shit or get off the fucking pot. Yeah, you back there in the cheap seats. Let me turn it up for you here. Shit or get off the fucking pot. You've got the Christian fundamentalists and the Crusaders and Blackwater, and we're going to go on the Templar one and wipe us out, lay some Hajis out on cardboard. But yet, meanwhile, we're going to institute their law so we can be free of, punishment and all this crap. All extremism is a result of these priest-class cocksuckers. You can see two examples of that in the film very clearly, in my new film. You have Barry Goldwater saying extremism in defense of liberty is no vice. And then later in the film, when you see the Pedro Arrupe Black Pope Georgetown clip in there, or it may have been that clip. Actually, not that clip. It was a clip right around that same time, but it was a news clip we had about Pedro Arrupe in the film as well. And they say in this ABC News clip that Pedro Arrupe was quoted as saying something like, violent extremism in the face of tyranny is acceptable, or something of that nature. And you see this quite a bit. If you go and research, you'll find many examples of this, where you have right-wing, far extreme right-wing pundits like Barry Goldwater, who's still held up by Christian conservatives and right-wingers and truth movement people and patriot movement people. I've heard modern-day patriot people that I used to do radio shows with praise Barry Goldwater and call themselves modern-day Goldwater conservatives. Several radio hosts I used to be on radio networks with did that, ladies and gentlemen. So you see, this has been why they haven't wanted you to know about the CMP. This is why they haven't wanted you to know about the secret right. This is why they've been getting scared, because if you figure this out, you're going to figure out the whole goddamn thing. I mean, this should be blowing people's minds. The Antorum wants to impose Judeo-Christian Sharia. Yeah. Why is it the Islamic fundamentalists follow Sharia and the crazy right-wing nutters want to do it too? Because it's coming from the same source that controls both Islam and Judaism, Christianity, and all of it. The priest class themselves, folks. I mean, this is why I fucking spent all these years making these films. Why don't you see it? I hate to try and beat people over the head with information, but goddamn it, I'm getting to the point where I feel like that's my only choice anymore. You have to beat people over the fucking head with this shit for them to see it. And that's not me. It's hard for me to do that, man. But goddamn it, lately, I just feel like that's the only choice anymore. Oh, man, let me move on to some other stuff. I'm just getting too worked up. Let's see what else we have. 3 arrested for peddling miracle cure from stem cells. 3 men were arrested, and a 4th is being sought by the FBI in connection with what investigators said was a scheme to market stem cells as miracle cures to desperate people suffering from terminal diseases. Protecting the public from unproven and potentially dangerous drug and medical procedures is very important. No, wait a minute. Stem cells, the stem cells fucking work, dude. That's how that's a scientific fact. So what's happening is that now they're starting to become a black market for stem cells because people have figured out that it's a cure-all for anything. The medical industry doesn't like that. So a black market pops up, and all of a sudden they're saying, oh, we're doing this to protect the public. Bullshit. David Rockefeller and Henry Kissinger and Baron Rothschild and all these guys are all sucking down stem cell smoothies every fucking day for lunch. It tastes stem cell-y. Tastes like a baby. Little napkin there. Oh, hey. Oh, Heinz, you've got a little baby extract on your lips there. Let me get it for you. Yes. Smithers, bring me some more stem cell smoothies. Yes, they're so yummy. Literally, man, these guys, I mean, fucking Dave Rockefeller's like 94, folks. That motherfucker don't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon. Kissinger's like 90-something. Yeah, these guys are sucking down the stem cell smoothies, and they know people are starting to find out about it, and the black market's popping up, and they're getting scared. Yeah, well, we're on to you now, cocksuckers. Let's see what else we have here tonight. Not a lot of news. This one I love. Bezow doo-doo zippity bop 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 arrested. A Madison man with an unusual name is in jail after police said he violated his bail conditions from a previous run-in with the law. 30-year-old Bezow doo-doo zompity bop 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 is tentatively charged. What is this guy like? Is this David Lee Roth or something? Bezow doo zippity bop bop bop. Yeah, half a teacher. Is tentatively charged with a concealed knife. That's the fucking greatest name I've ever heard. Possession of marijuana and probation violation. Court records show his previous name was Jeffrey Drew Wilski, and he legally changed it to Bezow Doo-Doo Zo Bitty 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 Bop 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 in October. Wow. You can't make that kind of shit up. I got to drop that one in the chat room so you can just see it for yourself. That is the greatest name in the history of all names, right there. Yeah, in the words of Rick James, cocaine is a hell of a drug. I think that's what that name tells us right there. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. I don't know if I mentioned this last night or not. Can't remember if I mentioned this last night. But if I did, I'm sorry. I just can't remember. I don't listen back to the shows after I do them, so sometimes I forget that I already mentioned stuff, and I go back and mention it again, and I forget about it. And then people are like, am I listening to a repeat? No, you're not listening to a repeat. Yes, I'm aware that I say some shit 2 days in a row exactly the same way. I'm human. Forgive me. But Paul McCartney, Macca, Fall, he has a new album coming out next month, February 7th or 8th, something like that, called Kisses on the Bottom. Now, a lot of Paul McCartney's albums are anagrams. He's got one that's an anagram for Son of the Magician, which is very interesting considering you have Aleister Crowley twice on the cover of Sgt. Pepper. And it's interesting on the cover of Sgt. Pepper as well. There's, it's a funeral scene going on there. With Paul's back faced away. They have the flowers there on the front that are, say, Paul in flowers, and it's like a base. Well, on the cover of his new album, he's like making off with like a funeral bouquet. He's like running away with funeral flowers. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I started looking to see if anybody had done any anagram work on, his current album's coming out, because I figured, well, a lot of his albums have anagrams, so I started looking into it. Well, Kisses on the Bottom alone that title. And his story is that it comes from a line from an old song or some shit. You know, Mac has always got some story about, oh, well, mate, it came from, you know, we were all sitting around in Liverpool listening to the old standards. We came up with the name. We said, give us a name, love. They gave us kisses on the bottom. That's all it meant. You know, he's always got some bullshit story, but immediate to me, and I'm sure a lot of you, what came into my mind was, you know, where the origin of the term "kiss my ass" comes from the Templars, from when they would, you know, do these various black magic rituals where they would, summon demons through severed heads and all this crazy shit. But what they would do at the end of these rituals, and, you know, one of the standard phrases, magical phrases that's used in magic and in all kinds of magic, Wiccan, Freemasons use it. But when you close out a magical incantation, a lot of times what you say is, of course, so mote it be, right? So mote it be. Well, kissing the Grand Master on the anus in Templar rituals is how they would end their rituals. They would do their conjuring, and they would do their spells, and at the end of it, they would all line up in a row. The Grand Master would bend over and expose his bare buttocks and spread his cheek so his pink starfish would stick out. And all these guys would line up and kiss him right on his anus because it was, you know, part of the magical ritual, the black magic stuff that they were into. That's why I think a lot of this pedophilia and all this homosexuality that goes on in the highest levels today stems from. But so I started working. I started looking around to see if anybody had done any of this anagram work for kisses on the bottom, and didn't find anything that anybody had found yet. So I started working on it myself. And lo and fucking behold, one of the things that you find when you start doing anagram work on kisses on the bottom, you find that the phrase "so mote it be" exists as a letter combination in the phrase kisses on the bottom. Now, I haven't figured out the rest of it. And yes, there are a whole bunch of different things the anagram could be. But to me, that was pretty fucking startling, man. I mean, that's just too big. That cannot be a coincidence. I don't care what the fuck Macca wants. Oh, love, we were listening to some records, man. Yeah, man, we were listening to records, and you know, we were from Liverpool, man, and it was getting groovy, and all of a sudden, you know, someone says, "Give us a title, man." We went for Kisses on the Bottom. I know John would have really liked that title. It would have been a title that John would have really liked. Yeah, and it just happens to be "So Mote It Be," a combination there. Come on. So kissing some Templar ass and just, it's just coincidence that "So Mote It Be" happens to be one of the word combinations you come up with there. Yeah, coincidence. Oh, absolutely. Nothing connected there. If you've never seen the documentary The Winged Beetle on YouTube, definitely going to watch that. And you'll get a better idea of the stuff that I'm talking about. Because there's definitely some stuff going on. I'll tell you an interesting thing. I meant to put this in the movie, but I just didn't have time to put it in there. What was Paul's Fall? I call him Fall, as in fake Paul. What was Fall's last wife's name? Not Linda, the one that died, but the one that had half a leg, old Peg Leg. What was that bitch's name? Took him totally to the cleaners. Well, the reason she took him totally to the cleaners is because she's got the dirt. Oh yeah, baby. And I'm just drawing a blank on what her name is now. She's McCartney's ex-wife, blonde. Well, she used to be a hooker, a high-priced call girl. And guess who her number one client was when she was a high dollar, $10,000 a night whore? You'll never guess. Adnan Khashoggi. Yes, our good buddy Adnan Khashoggi. Heather Mills. Thank you, Anon. Heather Mills was Adnan Khashoggi's number one bitch. He loved that pussy like he loves gold. loved that pussy. I mean, he was shoveling out $10,000 a night every night of the week for like years for that ass. And according to Adnan Khashoggi's ex-secretary, Heather Mills didn't want to sell him the pussy anymore. One day, she decided she wanted to go legit, go find her a easy mark like Macca. And so Adnan Khashoggi was absolutely furious about this. And he pulled on some old school, you know what they do, you know, like they do in Saudi Arabia and stuff. If you get caught stealing or you know, you're practicing witchcraft, which is basically reading a book about anything that's not, it doesn't have to do with Islam. They actually have a fucking executioner, this guy that's passed down generationally that actually beheads people in public with a big fucking sword. Well, that's what Adnan Khashoggi did. He took a sword and he cut that bitch's fucking leg off and said, all right, you want out? You want out? You don't want to be my bitch anymore? Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Whack! Took your leg, bitch. How about that? All right, you're out. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I don't want to fuck you now with one leg. Get the fuck out of my office. And she told everybody that she got in a motorbike accident with a boyfriend at the time and lost her leg. Not according to Adnan Khashoggi's former secretary. He whacked that bitch's leg off with a fucking sword, dude. Straight the fuck up. And the next thing you know, see, I mean, there again, there's Adnan Khashoggi hobnobbing with all these, you know, these musicians and people like that, which I talk about in the film a little bit, but unbelievable stuff. Well, anyway, the point is, Heather Mills, supposedly, the reason that she got divorced from Paul McCartney had nothing, and she says this in interviews, it had nothing to do with infidelity, had nothing to do with marriage problems. They got along great. What happened was, apparently, is she caught that motherfucker. She found out that he's not really Paul McCartney, and that he was this guy who basically became Paul McCartney after the real Paul McCartney was killed. And supposedly she has a big bunch of this information. And if anything is to ever happen to her, there's several news people who these packages are already in a safety deposit box ready to go out to all the major media outlets. If anything ever shady or anything happens to her and she dies, it's going to go out all over to the media. And she said that it was bombshell stuff and nothing about infidelity or anything like that, but stuff that would shake every person on the planet to the core. And that's what she was talking about. She found out that he was who he said he was, and she said, "Okay, well, what I want is a divorce, and by the way, I want half your shit." She got like, I don't know how much did she get off him? $500 million or something. I mean, it was something ridiculous, dude. It was totally over the top. But yeah, that's hush money, man. Keep him on fall. Keep his mouth shut about fall and his. Not really being him. Unbelievable stuff. But yeah, Khashoggi cut that bitch's leg off, dude. Straight up. Cold-blooded. Let's see what we have in the news stack here tonight, folks. You guys ever watch the show on FX, The League? I love that show. Oh, it's my favorite show. I don't have cable or anything, but I download it, get it on iTunes. But I started watching that in 2009 when it first came on because of John LaJoie, the comedian. We play his songs here. Every time you hear a funny song sometimes on the radio, I mean, on my station, a lot of times it's John LaJoie. And there's an episode of this show, The League, where it's a hilarious show. I love it. But there's an episode called The Sukkah. And the character of Ruxin in the show is trying to get his son, baby Jeffrey, into a Jewish preschool. So he has this Jewish sukkah thing at his house for this Jew lady, and it's kind of this whole theme throughout the show is that he has to have this sukkah so he can try to get his kid into a private school at his house, but yet he has this big pothole in front of his house, and he didn't want people to scrape their cars on it. Well, they were sitting in a bar talking about it, and he says, well, why don't you just call the city and have them come out? And he said, I've called the city 100 times, and they don't care. And then John LaJoie says, yeah, they're too busy removing graffiti in my neighborhood. And they get in this conversation about, all racially insensitive stuff has to be removed by the city immediately. So, Ruxin, who's a Jew, who's married to a Catholic, that's greatness, decides to go and paint a big swastika over the pothole so that the city will come out immediately and fix the graffiti and also simultaneously fix the pothole. And it works. And then they notice that when they send out the invitations that there was Google Maps connection to his house to show where, how to get to his house. And lo and behold, on the Google Maps, the Google Earth happened to catch a picture of him spray painting the swastika and like looking up in the sky and painting it on his house. And then there's other jokes later that have to do with the swastika and all this stuff. But anyway, my point is that that exact plot from that show actually happened. It's unbelievable. Jewish man arrested for swastikas and anti-Semitic calls. Now, actually, this is very real because a lot of this stuff is actually a lot of stuff actually does come from the Mossad, because this is how they get these guys to get on board with radical Jewish groups and Zionist groups and whatnot. It's where do you think the whole false flag ideology originated from? I mean, Israel was the head of that kind of thing. But that's what they do. They have to keep this, plight of the Jew thing going so they can continue their radical causes. So yes, they attack their own kind to make it look like there's, Jewish hate going on, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely. A Jewish man was arrested on hate crime charges on Monday, accused of making anti-Semitic telephone calls to his mother, to his own mother. You imagine that shit? But this thing's out of his mind, man. I mean, fuck. I thought Ruxin on the show was a dirty, conniving piece of shit. He's a saint compared to this guy in real life. See, that's how it is nowadays. The fiction can't even create characters that are as bad as what we see in the real world. It used to be the other way around. Remember that? Remember those days when you could watch a TV show or watch a movie, and that was why you watched it, because you'd see the extremes of things that weren't in real life, like Jason or Freddy Krueger or some serial killer or something. See, now it's got to the point where it's the other way around. Now the characters in real life are way worse than anything people can cook up in fiction. Because somebody's writing out some sitcom or some TV show going, oh, man, no, hell no. No way we can go there. They won't let that shit on air. And then, stuff in real life's worse than that. This guy's calling up his own mother going, you old kite bitch. You old fucking dirty Jew whore. You dirty, nasty, gefilte fish bitch. You stupid Jew. You're gonna fucking die, you kite bitch. Sorry, Mom. I'll hang up the phone now. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'll be in synagogue this week. Okay, see you later, Mom. What the fuck? It's calling him his mother, you kite bitch. You fucking dirty Jew. That guy's out of his fucking mind. Holy shit, man. Somebody needs to give this guy his own show, right? This guy's completely off the chain. A family business dispute drove David Haddad, 56 of Manhattan. Yeah, of course, he's from New York. Who is Jewish, to make the threatening phone calls to his mother, 80, and two other women aged 87 and 78. He threatened to kill the other individual on the phone as well as her relatives. He basically said that all Jews should die and go to hell. Every one of you dirty, stinking Jews needs to go to hell. Is that you? Is that you, David? Why are you telling me to go to hell? Why are you calling me a kite bitch? I don't understand this, David. Oh, man, that is off the chain. Let's see what else we have. How Medieval Arabic texts suggest that Egyptian Queen Cleopatra VII was a brilliant early mathematician, chemist, and philosopher who wrote science books and met weekly with a team of scientific experts, according to a forthcoming book. If historians can verify the medieval accounts, and the real Cleopatra likely bore little resemblance to the sexy seductress described by Greek and Roman scholars. So imagine that, yeah. So she was actually a smart scientific type and not a dirty, filthy, stinking whore that had trains ran on her by everybody in Egypt. That's pretty much what they make it out to believe. But of course, we find out, she was actually smart and well-spoken and a chemist and a philosopher and mathematician. But no, everybody wants to think she was just some, filthy whore that could be used for things I won't even say here on the show. Well, Google search will give you a little indicator on that. Brains of 40 dead children removed and kept in jars in UK hospitals. Yeah, for 15 years. Just no reason. People are finding out 15 years later. Oh, by the way, yeah, your kids, remember your kid that died 15 years ago? Remember how horrible that was? Oh, God, yes, I do. Oh, my God. Yeah, well, we've had his brain here in a jar for 15 years. We never told you. How about that? You like that? Yeah. That's how we roll. We just keep brains around just in case we might need some. Sick puppies. Oh, this is a great one. We got to get this one up on theglobalreality.com. The cyborgs are coming. The cyborgs are coming. Living brains implanted with electronic chips to replace faulty parts. Well, we're here now. Congratulations, it's 2012. Cyberdyne's cybernetic interface is on its way, baby. I hope you're ready. Faulty parts of living brains have been replaced by electronic chips in an astonishing and controversial scientific breakthrough. It's a move that has been anticipated many times in science fiction with creatures such as the Terminator, a cyborg hybrid of flesh and machinery. I would have went with RoboCop on this one. Yeah. Until we see a real RoboCop, I won't be impressed. Take some cop that got blown away and turn him into RoboCop, and then we'll talk. But now researchers at Tel Aviv University, of course, it's happening in Israel, of course, have successfully created circuits that can replace motor functions, such as blinking, and implanted them into brains. They hope the technology could, in the future, help people suffering from brain malfunction, such as Parkinson's disease, by replacing damaged or malfunctioning tissue with chips that perform the same function. Imagine there's a small area in the brain that's malfunctioning, and then imagine that we understand the architecture of this damaged area. So we try to replicate the part of the brain with electronics. Mintz has already successfully implanted a robotic cerebellum into the skull of a rodent with brain damage, restoring its capacity for movement. However, anti-vivisection campaigners have described the experiment as grotesque. But this is, man, you understand who's putting all the money into this, right? Medical industrial complex. They're putting big money into this stuff. Any R&D that they can do, research and development for technologies which are essentially life extension technologies that they can put a premium on, they're all about. And that's the future that they have designated for you and I. It's not just going to be in the future, folks, like it's been, the regular old feudalism. No, this neo-feudalism is going to be a technological neo-feudalism. It won't just be the haves and the have-nots anymore. It'll be the merge with machine robots of the have-nots. If you play the game and you work in society the way society wants you to, and you're a real go-getter mainstream, do what the mainstream wants you to do person, well, then, you'll be able to afford these life extension technology things. And if you're poor, broke, and white trash and destitute and don't want to work in their system, well, you're not, and you won't live as long. Sorry. We're going to stay down here and be gods while you go off to another plane. Have fun. You guys have fun down here jerking each other off in your fucking coffins and running around naked in the woods, fucking each other in the ass, acting like little pansies wearing fairy wings. You guys have fun now. Jesus Christ. That's really what they want to do, isn't it? Turn the world into their big fairyland playground. Here's the best news I've heard all week. I know you guys have been waiting for this one. Artificial meat grown in a lab could become a reality this year. So that's wonderful. So you'll have to check what you're eating now even closer, because what you get may not even come from a goddamn animal that once was living anymore. It may just come from something they cooked up in a fucking, I mean, talk about Soylent Green. Jesus, at least Soylent Green was people, you know? Again, another case where the reality is much worse than the fiction. Yeah, Soylent Green is people. Yeah. Well, so what? At least it's good protein. The shit they're going to be serving us now, it's not even Soylent Green. It's not even people. It's just, you know, goo and fucking, gross nastiness. Horrible, horrible stuff. Oh, did you guys hear about this? This was rich. A billionaire history buff has stepped forward to donate the $7.5 million matching gift that's needed to start repairing cracks near the top of the Washington Monument from last summer's East Coast earthquake. Businessman David Rubenstein, a member of the Carlyle Group. Oh, really? Oh, my God. This guy, man, you could tell this guy's used the Masonic nut rag of Jobulon to wipe the baby batter off his chin more times than Neil Armstrong, probably. So this, I mean, this guy, total Freemason. He's a member of the Carlyle Group. So mote it be, brother. So mote it be. He's out of the kindness of his heart is paying out of his own pocket to fix. I mean, these guys, this is just so fucking fun. These guys can't stand for their, you know, giant Osiris cock to not be, you know, perfectly erect. So this guy's paying for a $7.5 million dose of Viagra for the Washington Monument, which, by the way, is 666 feet in total length, including the anchor at below ground. Businessman David Rubenstein told the Associated Press he was inspired to help fund the repairs to the 555-foot obelisk when it became clear how severely damaged it was by a 5.8 magnitude quake on August 23rd. The monument received about 1 million visitors a year before the famous landmark was closed to the public after the quake. The Park Service hopes to have a contractor begin work by the end of August. These guys, you see, I knew that wasn't going to be there. Like, oh, they're just going to close it. It's not going to be able to be fixed. Yeah. I mean, come on. It's just funny. Yeah. Rubenstein. Look at that guy. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Yeah. I just think it's funny. You know, that's what these guys had to spend their money on. I have to make sure that Osiris cock is back erect again. My God, that's, you know, because that's why these guys draw power from this, or they think they do. You know, that's heaven forbid their giant cock be, you know, have a lilt in it. Let's see here. Man, I don't even know what to say about this. I just the stuff that I've been laughing my ass off, man, at just the stuff that's been directed at the Ron Paul followers, the Ron Paul Kool-Aid drinkers. I mean, you guys, seriously, can you guys not see what they're trying to? I mean, they're just trying to do everything they can to piss those people off. It's worse than I do. I don't even try to piss them off. I'm just, you know, they hate me because I'm telling the truth. You know, they hate me because I don't worship Ron Paul, and I think he's, you know, I think he is a white supremacist. I don't believe what the media says, and I don't believe what they try to tout out about any of that horse shit. I base what I believe on on my own research and his connections to people. It's just on no question about it. Ron Paul's connected to white supremacists and white nationalist groups. There's no question. But they tout this stuff, and they push this stuff just to piss off and they want the Ron Paul culties to be enraged. That's what they want. You know, they ran that thing about the prostitutes. They tried to do it last time too. Hookers for Ron Paul and hooker. They did that again this go round. They said prostitutes are raising money for Ron Paul, and then all the Ron Paul culties said, "Oh, that's a lie. They're not really doing it. They're just making that up, and they're trying to make him look bad." And, if you go and look, there are lots of groups who have prostitutes who are lots of, presidential candidates that tap, it's not the first time. But this one, I just love it because they just get they get so angry. Muslims say Ron Paul is their kind of Republican. Oh, man, that is rich. I guess what they're saying now is that if, obviously you wouldn't want to vote for Ron Paul because, hey, the Muslims like him, right? So that should be a big enough reason for any self-respecting right-wing Republican to denounce Ron Paul and withdraw support because, my God, I mean, we can't do anything that would be in line with the Muslims now, can we? I mean, they're the living devils here on earth, according to the right-wingers. I mean, this shit is just so funny to watch, man. And I don't know what's funnier, the stuff that they do or the reaction to what they do from the Ron Paul flunkies. And what's funny about it is that they seem to have, they think that they have a bulletproof explanation to explain away. I think they really think Ron Paul is completely, can do no wrong. He's not a god, folks. And every single thing, no matter what it is, no matter how dead solid it is, they find some way to, that's just a lefty liberal commie media. But I don't believe in the left-right paradigm. That's what Jones says all day long. The guy's full of shit. Anybody, if you think for a second, look, Alex Jones says he doesn't believe in the left-right paradigm. He's a fucking liar. Liar. You are a goddamn liar, Mr. Jones. I don't believe. If you didn't believe in the left-right paradigm, you wouldn't be supporting any of these candidates. Ron Paul or any of these other political clowns you've had on your show through the years. You wouldn't have went and worked. People who don't support and don't believe in the left-right paradigm don't work for presidential campaigns like Pat Buchanan, Mr. Jones. So go sell that shit somewhere else. See, that's another thing he does because he poisons the well for people like me and you and other people who really, really don't believe in the false left-right paradigm, who really don't support that voting system at all and don't even believe you should even go participate in that at all because you're verifying to them that their system is still okay for you. But he is the biggest goddamn liar to say that he doesn't support the false left-right paradigm, but yet, support everything that I do is right-wing. But I'm for the good right-wingers, not the phony right-wingers. Yeah. Me and Ron Paul gonna kick some ass, take over this town.
Satan's cock, Jones. Oh, I've been missing you, Mr. Jones. You gotta come back and see Daddy and give me some more of that sweet sugar. Start calling you Gums like I call Bush. Old Gums Bush. Yes.
Oh, man. Oh, here's another great one for you. You guys will love this. It's from the Daily Mail. This is another one. Most Britons descended from male farmers who left Iraq and Syria 10,000 years ago and were seduced by the local hunter-gatherer women. Right, that's just like Enki, man, going around getting his dick wet, pouring his fucking seed and everything without a wet hole, open hole. Pouring it by the beer pitcher gallon. Most Britons are direct descendants of farmers who left modern-day Iraq and Syria 10,000 years ago. A new study has shown, yeah. So the Anunnaki's creation spread and started going around to other places and knocking people up there, and, was it Bill Hicks? I don't know if it was Bill Hicks or Carlin or one of them who, how do we know people, that we're doing, how do we know people were fucking, somebody was fucking, somebody's been fucking. How do you know? We're here. And, yeah, our whole society is based on fucking. People went around to different areas and fucked over here and fucked over there. And then all of a sudden there was a bunch of people there. And so before long, you had more people there, and people over here and people over there, and people would go to different areas just to find new things to put their dick in. And according to the Sumerian text, that's what Enki was doing too. So no wonder we all wanted to do that. They made us in their image, and notice that in the biblical text it does say
their image. Plural, multiples, not one. And so, yeah, made in their image. So we turned into a creature who can be very astute at times, but also can be the biggest goddamn vagina, pussy. At the drop of a hat, dude. We go from like, oh, yes, and the Kelvin point temperature of this specific molecule is 79.386. 12, give me some ass, give me some vagina. I mean, that's why we're like that. That's why we're so schizo, man. Ass cheeseburger, ass cheeseburger, ass cheeseburger, you know? Titty steak, titty steak, titty steak, titty steak, titty steak. That's pretty much, you know, most guys, that's pretty much our 90% of our day through our head is just kind of titty steak, titty steak, titty steak, titty steak, ass, 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 titty steak, ass, 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 titty steak, 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 titties, ass, titty steak, steak, titties, ass, steak, beer. Most Britons, after studying the DNA of more than 2,000 men, researchers say they have compelling evidence that our 4 out of 5 white Europeans can trace their roots to the Near East. Yeah. I love it, man. Love how they come out with this stuff. You know, researchers have known that for years. Why is that breaking news? We've known that for the longest time. The final round of genetic manipulation that they did, when they were creating mankind, they created them from the ones that they gave the most of their DNA to. They gave little bits to the other races and different creatures and races and creeds that they made. But they took a white-skinned people out of the Caucasus Mountains region, and those are the ones that they gave the most amounts of their DNA, and those are the ones that became the demigods. And those are the ones that spread out and, started spreading their seed everywhere else. But it's just funny. Oh, they're acting like this is breaking news. And those of us that research have known this for a long time. Not breaking news to us. UK used spy rock against Russia. You know, people think stuff like this is only in the movies or only in James Bond or, but folks, this kind of stuff, this hidden stuff that's cameras. I mean, it's all over the place. It's been all over the place for a long time. And it's not just in the movies. Where do you think they get that stuff in the movies? You think people just think they just, oh, they're so brilliant. They just pull that out of their imagination. No, man. Stuff in movies comes from stuff that's real. It always has. A former British official has admitted for the first time that Britain was responsible for a James Bond-style spy plot involving a fake rock in Moscow that contained electronic equipment. Russia accused British diplomats 6 years ago of using the bizarre scheme to send and receive electronic messages, a charge London had until now denied. But Jonathan Powell, chief of staff to then Prime Minister Tony Blair, told the BBC that Russia had used the incident to bring in a law to crack down on foreign non-governmental organizations. There's not much you can say. The spy rock was embarrassing, Powell said in a program to be broadcast by the BBC on Thursday. That's not even the tip of the iceberg, man. We've had bugs and listening devices and reconnaissance shit all over key places all over the world for decades. Give me a break. Only an idiot wouldn't know that. And, well, since most of us are idiots, most people don't know that. Let me see what else I have here tonight. February marks the beginning of the end, says which? Are we likely to see the horsemen of the apocalypse riding down Panah next month? Perhaps not, but a Cork witch, Cork, is this Cork, Ireland, I take it, says next week could be the beginning of the end times. The White Witch of Cobb, Helen Barrett, told the Cork Independent this week that while the 21st of December has long been established as the end of the world, Thursday, February the 2nd, will herald the start of a great war in the sky, predicted to end the planet's existence. A war in the sky. Huh? Is that when they're going to bust out the alien invasion scenario? February 2nd, Thursday, February. Let me pencil that in. I want to see some fucking holograms. I'm down. She said the answers of the universe and the fate of mankind in the next year were to be found in the Spanish decades writings of the 1700s and not the popular belief that the end of the world has been predicted by the Mayans. According to Helen, known as the White Witch of the Isles, Thursday, the 2nd of February, will see the beginning of the end in a concept shared by a number of ancient cultures across the globe. Someone, somewhere, told these ancient civilizations about the end of the world. A signal was sent out. By whom, you ask? One thought traveled across the globe at the same time. How else could these societies all reach the same conclusion at the same time? I'll refer you to Supocalypse on that one. Aliens! It was aliens! Look at my Bud Bundy hair! It was aliens! I fell asleep in the tanning bed! She said a cross could appear in the sky in the coming months, which will mark the beginning of a battle between good and evil. What? Oh, a cross appearing in the sky? What, you mean like that Project Bluebeam looking motherfucker they got down there in the Dominican Republic that was funded and paid for by the Knights of Malta? Oh, you didn't know about that? Yeah, well, they own that whole area. They're nuts deep in Knights of Malta down there in the Caribbean. But yeah, there's this big fucking gigantic cross-shaped structure in the Dominican Republic that was paid for by the Knights of Malta that is called the Pharaoh Acolon. Now, wouldn't it make sense that something that the Knights of Malta built would have to have the word colon in there somewhere? Fucking, it's all about the ass to these guys. What in the hell does a cross-shaped building have to do with a colon? I don't know, man, but these rump rangers will find some fucking way to get it in there. Again, no, please don't think I'm homophobic or dislike gay people or anything like that. I sure don't. But I have to call these hypocrites and these people that, make all this anti-gay legislation and go around, acting like they're all against and gay people shouldn't have any rights and they're subhuman to us and all this stuff, but yet they're going around fucking each other in the ass in the back hallway. So when you hear me refer to it and call them fags and stuff like that, please don't take offense if you are homosexual. I don't have anything against homosexual people at all, but I think these people that, parade around with their phony wife and all gay people are subhuman, blah, blah, blah. And then, next thing you know, they're just fucking bam, bam, bam in the back room with whatever they can get. It's just a fact of matter, whether you're gay or straight or anything else, the fact of the matter is 98% of these guys at the highest levels are all pole smokers. It's a requisite. You have to be a fucking sausage boy in order to be able to even get anywhere. And, man, I mean, believe me, man, I'm a musician. I've heard it. I've known people who've had record deals. I've known people who've been in the big offices, talk to the big wigs with a cigar, I mean, if you're a chick, there are women who will ask you to perform oral on them. If you're a dude, there are dudes who will, ask you to perform oral. These motherfuckers don't care. And it's almost like from what the stories I've heard, it's almost like they don't even care about it. It's just like a demeaning thing they want to see you do. You know what I mean? They don't even want the sex or want it. It's like they just, I don't know. Every time I hear those stories, all I see is like Steven Tyler or like, Kid Rock or somebody like that coming in, getting on their knees and just, slobbing some fucking record company dude's cock and them coming and taking a picture of it and being like, all right, make sure you sell those records. Make sure you have the image we want you to. Otherwise, see this? Yeah, that's going to be on your Facebook profile page. Got that? Yeah. Picture you slobbing the fucking big record guy's cock. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. DARPA-funded hackers' tiny $50 spy computer hides in offices and drops from drones. Well, you know what that calls for. That's one of those titles, isn't it? DARPA-funded hackers' tiny $50 spy computer hides in offices and drops from drones. Nazi lesbian hookers abducted by UFOs and forced into weight loss programs. That's what that type of title is. Even more embarrassing than a student discovering your GPS tracking device on his car, as the FBI found out last year, is having to ask him to give the expensive piece of equipment back. So security researcher Brendan O'Connor is trying a different approach to spy hardware, building a sensor-equipped surveillance-capable computer that's so cheap it can be sacrificed after one use with off-the-shelf parts that anyone can buy and assemble for less than $50. Yeah, they got that. They've had that for years. At the Shomcom security conference Friday in Washington, D.C., O'Connor plans to present the F-bomb. The fuck bomb? He straight up called this thing the fuck bomb. That's what F-bomb is. You know, when somebody says you drop an F-bomb, that's what they're talking about. You said the word fuck. And this thing drops from tiny computers. So they're gonna drop the fuck bomb on us. Why is it called the fuck bomb? Because it only costs $50 to make. It's cheap, it's expendable, and they can drop it from a drone and track on and wirelessly surveillance you with the ultimate high-tech technology. Falling or ballistically launched object that makes back doors. That's what it stands for. That's the worst acronym I've ever heard in my life. The F-bomb. Falling or ballistically launched object that makes back doors. Is it just me, or does that sound really, really homosexual? So a ballistically launched object, just as the late, great George Carlin used to always say, you know, who are these guys that are launching these wars? They got to be fags at all of them, because the bombs and the bullets and the rockets are all shaped like dicks. What? They have bigger dicks? Bomb them! George Carlin was the shit. But that, seriously. So the ballistically launched object that's shaped like a penis that makes back doors. Backdoor meaning, you know, like the coded language of the blues, you know, Robert Johnson, Led Zeppelin. Shake for me, girl. I want to be your backdoor man. You know, Jim Morrison, backdoor man. You know, that's what they're talking about. Being the bad, I want to be your backdoor man means I want to put it in your ass. So they called this thing, my God. So this thing is called the F-bomb, the falling or ballistically launched object that makes back doors. So the feds and DARPA now are going to fly with a tiny computer that costs $50, drop it from a drone, and they're going to ballistically launch it and make a back door. Coming soon to a neighborhood near you. These guys, every single one of them, these guys just can't get over the cock and the back door, can they, at all times? I mean, you're really reaching into the realms of thinking about cock and ass 24/7 when you name that something to do with cock and ass. I mean, this guy's just cock and ass, cock and ass, cock and ass. Yeah, surveillance, DARPA, white lab coats, surveillance. New technology, space, technology, ass, dick, ass. I mean, my God. Get your head out of the... These DARPA... I mean, these boys are walking around DARPA in their white lab coats. Oh, what shall we cook up today, master? Man. Let's see what else we have here tonight. You guys hear about... So apparently, I guess they brought Fear Factor back with Joe Rogan, and they were supposed to have an episode last night. They were supposed to air, and they canceled at the last minute. And it involved a couple of pictures of some stuff here. One picture of yellow liquid and another picture of some white creamy liquid. And it looks like it looks like an Inky-sized pitcher, you know, pouring it into the womb. And apparently it was donkey semen. And someone apparently drank it. But the executives thought that it was not appropriate for TV. So at the last minute, they pulled the episode. It wasn't shown. That means some dude or some chick drank that Inky-sized pitcher of donkey piss and the Inky-sized pitcher of donkey nut. And not only that, their ass didn't get on TV. Did all that shit to get on TV. Drank the donkey nut, did you? Just couldn't pass it up. And your ass still didn't get on TV. How bad does that motherfucker feel? Especially if it was a dude, you know? Oh, man. God damn. That is rough. Look at that, man. I mean, that's an inky size picture right there. Wow. That's what we've been reduced to, though. We're drinking, beer pitchers full of donkey sperm on TV to get on TV and get money. Wow. It is, the running man is here. The U.S. military has been after self-guided bullets for years. Now government researchers have finally made it happen. A bullet that can navigate itself a full mile before successfully nailing its target. The breakthrough comes courtesy of engineers of the government's Sandia National Laboratories. They successfully tested a prototype of the bullet at distances up to 2,000 meters, more than a mile. The photo above is an actual image taken during those tests. A light-emitting diode was attached to the bullet, showing the amazing pathway that the munition made on the night sky. So, self-guided bullets now. Just like in, what was that movie? The Fifth Element. Every textbook on the brain is wrong, and our brains are more similar to monkeys than we thought. I mean, just as we were just talking about, the Rh negative, Rh positive blood thing. Our brains are actually more like monkeys than we thought. Yeah. Sad to say, we're all fucking monkeys or lizards. You're either a monkey or a lizard. Most of the people at the top are lizards, and we're all the monkeys. But I'm proud to be an ape. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Those lizards are just too creepy. I don't want to be one of them. I'd rather be an ape. I'm cool with being an ape. Let's see what else we have here tonight. I love this. A rally for Republican nominee Newt Gingrich in Las Vegas on Thursday morning was interrupted by a local Nevada grindcore band, Traumatic Anal Devastation. It's always bands with the best names that probably suck the worst. These guys probably suck. I bet they're probably one of the worst bands you've ever heard. I haven't gone and checked them out, but I love the name. Traumatic Anal Destruction. And supposedly they named their band that because they say that's what the government does to us, is traumatic anal devastation. I love that, though. Traumatic anal devastation. Yeah, Gingrich would know a thing about that, wouldn't he? Apparently, the band showed up outside their rally, plugged in their instruments, and then generated what Gingrich staffer Terry the Stick Foley called the sound of a tank driving through a minefield. Police showed up and pulled the plug on the youthful thugs after about 5 minutes. The equivalent of 20 songs, according to estimates from our grindcore research staff. Yeah, those bands are songs like fucking, they'll have like 40 songs on an album. What was like the Minutemen, punk band from the 80s? Their songs would be like a minute and a half. And I remember once at one of the albums, they did like 3-minute songs. People were like, oh my God, these are like magnum opus epics, 30 seconds a minute. Rancid was the same way. You had fucking 30 songs on a Rancid album. They'll all be a minute and a half long. That shit just makes me laugh. Singer used very loosely for the band, Chip Gravelthroat Corbin said the impromptu performance. I think this is probably a joke. I can't verify this is real. It may have been real. I don't know. It's funny nonetheless. Corbin said the impromptu performance was a political statement based on the band's agenda for equal rights, animal rights, and the support of anti-war movements across the world. When asked how his band's name reflected their political beliefs, Corbin stated, traumatic anal devastation is obviously metaphorical for the way the government and capitalism has continually raped the public at large. When asked how people were supposed to understand the political nature of the lyrics given the undesirable delivery of them, Corbin responded, huh? What do you mean? No reports of hearing loss or more than usual psychological damage from the Gingrich supporters who were present. That is hilarious. I am going to... That's all the news I can do. I've got a few more. I'll get into those tomorrow. If you want to send emails into the show anytime when I'm live or anytime when I'm not, love mail, hate mail, you've been getting some of that lately. Look, let me preface this by saying we have a lot of great listeners in the UK and in Britain, so I don't want to disenfranchise anybody here with what I'm about to say. Or because there are some good people in the UK and Britain. Illuminated Scam is one of our listeners. He does all our daily archives on YouTube. Does a fantastic job of that, and a great service to the broadcast doing that, reaching a lot of people that we wouldn't reach otherwise. It's just a fantastic thing that he does with that. He's in the UK. He's a great dude. I mean, seriously, I'd give that dude anything. He's a fucking cool dude. But I don't know what it is, man. Some of these fucking Brits are just cocksuckers. I think I've gotten some of the most hate-filled vitriol from fucking Brits than I've gotten from anybody else. I don't know what the fucking problem is here. Folks from Ireland, they fucking love me. Folks from Australia, they fucking love me. Scotland, they fucking love me. New Zealand, they fucking love me. England, though. England, I don't know what the fucking problem is. Is it because you motherfuckers are pissed because you still hadn't got out from underneath the crown? Because, you know, it's fucked up as shit is in my country. At least I don't live under the crown, motherfucker. You know, I could at least say that about my forefathers and whoever they were. At least they had goddamn sense enough to get away from the fucking lizard queen. But seriously, some of the most hate-filled... Man, look, here's the thing. If you don't like me and you don't like my show and you don't like what I talk about, then don't fucking listen. I just don't understand the logic behind people who want to send, bullshit, cussing, blah, blah, blah. You're this, you're a motherfucker, you're this, blah, 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 blah. Just some real shit-talking, limey pricks. I don't know. I've got more hate-filled nonsense. I don't know what the deal is. Have a go, you yank. Come on, have a go, you wanker. Come on, have a go down at the pub, you yank. Let's go. Cheerio, mate. I don't know. It's probably because, I don't know. My ancestors come from like Germany and Ireland. And so I think it's some of those traits that are anti-British crown come out of me. I think that's what turns off the Brits for the most part. All right, back here with you on the Global Reality, right here on the Global Reality Radio Network. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Thanks for being with us here tonight for another late night Moonbat edition of the broadcast. And make that coffee, man. It's going to be a late one tonight. We're going to be up. We're going to be getting into some more news and information for you here tonight. TheGlobalReality.com is my website. That's www.theglobalreality.com. My email address is globalrealityshow@gmail.com. That's globalrealityshow@gmail.com. So you can send love mail, hate mail, naked booby pictures. Please, no sags. And whatever else over there. No dick pics either. Not interested in that. Vagina and boobies and butt is okay, but nothing else. No close-up sphincter shots either. I don't want to see what you had for dinner. But other than that, anything else, globalrealityshow@gmail.com. That's where you send it. And I'd love to have emails from all you out there. And I try to get back to everybody, and at least try to read it on the air and stuff like that. If I don't read it on the air or I don't get back to you, please don't think that I didn't read your email or take what you had to say to heart or anything like that. If I don't acknowledge anything back, it doesn't mean I didn't get it sometimes. Sometimes it has happened where people sent stuff and they didn't get the email right, or sometimes it just randomly goes in my spam folder. I have to check my spam folder pretty often. I get email from people sometimes it should not be spam, and it's in there. So globalrealityshow@gmail.com. And again, please support our work at globalreality.com with the chip and band on the donate button there. There actually is a good thing to not have put your penis inside of a vagina in decades. The CDC warns untreatable gonorrhea is on the way. Now, first off, how can you be able to tell that something like that is on the way? Well, it's not here yet, but we know it's coming. Yep, it's on its way. Yeah, it's on its way because you motherfuckers are releasing this shit. A new strain of gonorrhea is resistant to one of the last known effective treatments. Gonorrhea, one of the most commonly... Doesn't it make green stuff come out of a girl's vagina? Doesn't it make green stuff come out of the head of your cock? Ugh. I don't know what I'd do. Fuck. I'd probably cut it off. I don't know. Fuck. That's just terrible, man. Fuck. Something green, like green pussy stuff started oozing out. Oh, God. Jesus. Don't put your penis in rotten crotch. I'm glad I've been selective about the women I put my penis inside of, because I don't know. It just seems like everybody has diseases these days. I don't even fucking go try to even find any chicks anymore. It's like, I mean, every once in a while I'll, like, you know, see a chick that I kind of might be interested in, but then, like, you know, I know that somebody else that I know for a fact has a disease, had sex with that person, so I'm like, eh. And that's like everybody. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously. It's fucking terrible. So, yeah. Untreatable gonorrhea. Oh, that's just wonderful. Get yourself a case of that. Clap on. Clap off. Ugh. Can't get the clap off the clapper. Oh, my goodness. That's terrible. Let's see what else we have here tonight. This is great. You know, we've got a lot of listeners now, a lot of supporters and listeners. We get a lot of emails, bunches from people in Australia. And I think Aussies are just fucking rad people. But I got to tell you, man, whoever the guy who was that did this, he got fined for it. But, man, $1,000, yeah, that was worth it. Some guy in Australia gave a queen a lizard beast. Queen Elizabeth. So this dude straight up gave that bitch the pressed ham. I mean, just straight up, dude. Just gave her the fucking pressed fruit bowl. I mean, full blown, rolled up, cock and balls and ass, and just mooned that bitch. Oh, man, this guy ought to be given a fucking medal. If you can get close enough to the queen to enable, you know, I mean, what else would you do? If you're able to get that close to the Queen of England, what would you do? I know what I'd do. I'd fucking drop trowel and give her the fucking pressed fruit bowl right there. I mean, just straight up. It'd be better if it was in a vehicle and you're going by, so you give her the pressed fruit bowl, you know, not just the pressed ham. You get the whole fruit bowl in there so you can get the twigs and berries into the pressed fruit bowl, you know. But my God, I mean, what else would you do? There's really nothing else you could do. You couldn't try to harm her or something because, you know, they'd be all over you and kill you in 2 seconds. So you couldn't do anything stupid like that. But, you know, you could make her look at your ass and balls. That'd be in your asshole. That'd be great. A Sydney man has been fined 750 Australian dollars, 800 US, for mooning Queen Elizabeth II and her husband, Prince Philip, during a royal visit to Australia. I love it. Yeah, moon them. They ought to be mooned everywhere they fucking go. You know what I mean? They think they're so much fucking better than everybody. Oh, we're royalty, love, yes. Yeah, well, you're not too royal to look at my ass and my cock and balls. Ha 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 ha, yeah. Barham Liam Lloyd Warner was sentenced Tuesday in a Brisbane court on a charge of creating a public nuisance. I mean, that was a public service, if you ask me. For baring his buttocks to the 85-year-old British. I would have given anything to see the look on that old fucking reptile bitch's face. Jesus, God almighty. Whew. I bet she just, oh, man. Look at the wart on my ass, bitch. Look at it. It's hairy. Oh, man, that's pure gold right there. This guy, sir, you are a hero, and I salute you. Barham Liam Lloyd Warner, you are the man. Anytime you can give these motherfuckers, I mean, if you can't do anything, you know what I mean? If you can't find them and you can't beat them, then my God, at least you can give them a pressed ham, you know? Pressed ham goes a long way in the fight against the New World Order. Yes, it does. Oh, man, that's just too funny. Teenager starts braying like a donkey after pregnancy triggers bizarre form of Tourette syndrome. So this chick gets knocked up, and after she gets knocked up, it triggers some kind of Tourette's response at her, and she just starts braying like a donkey ever since she had penis put in her. It's like a donkey response to penis. I mean, I hope she got donkey punched by the dude that knocked her up, because, I mean, honestly, you know, obviously she needed that. You cannot make this kind of stuff up. But seriously, look at that picture, guys. Look at the chat. Look at that picture. She looks like she's a lot of fun. Get her in bed, she's going to bray like a donkey for you. But the look on her face, she looks like she wants to do more than that to the donkey. That's kind of scary. A pregnant teenager with Tourette syndrome was stunned when she started braying like a donkey days after conception. Cody Hagel, 18, began suffering with a debilitating condition when she was 14 years old. For years, she experienced between 10 and 20 leg twitches and had head jerks all day, but her tics were never verbal. But her family was shocked when Mrs. Hagel started to make donkey noises more than 30 times a day after becoming pregnant 5 months ago. She revealed that she has also started to shout the word yes and ha 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 ha, as well as experiencing the tics that she had before conceiving. And here's another image for her, just to let you know how much fun she really is. There you go. Yes, 2 pictures of her frolicking in the snow with the horses. That's somebody's probably going to be calling her up and seeing if she wants to be in the movies, and not the kind of movies that they show in the theater. You know what I'm saying? That's just bizarre, though. Bizarre stuff. You know, to me, it's pointless to say something. You can say something on a record all day long. To be honest with you, contrary to popular belief, record labels, they don't give 2 shits of a motherfucker what you say on a record. You can say that the owner of the record label is a kike, Jew, pillow-biting, motherfucking, dog, asshole-licking, donkey fucking motherfucker all day long on a record. Tell him you sodomized his dead grandmother in his living room while he was away on vacation. He won't. They don't care. So long as you're selling records, so long as you're moving units, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. They don't care. This has to take the cake for, and we haven't had one of these in a while, that's been this ridiculous to receive an award. We used to give out an award weekly and monthly, the most ridiculous news story of the week. But for right now, this has got to be the most ridiculous news story of the week. Osama bin Laden had stoned fantasies about marrying Whitney Houston and murdering Bobby Brown. Oh my good God, you couldn't make this shit up. Oh fuck, who writes this stuff, man? Who the fuck writes this? This stuff is just precious. Like all beautiful, successful women, Whitney Houston had more than her share of male admirers, but few stars could have provoked such unwanted attention as that which the singer received from one of history's most depraved and despicable men, Terror Chief Osama bin Laden. The guy was, oh, come on. You mean the fucking Oswald puppet they put up there for years after he was on ice and dead? Extraordinary as it might seem, bin Laden is said to have lusted after Houston, dreamed of marrying her, and at one point even plotted to murder husband Bobby Brown. Can you believe that shit? Nobody would ever believe that. That would have blown up in their face. I mean, there are already too many people that don't believe in the fable of 9/11. Can you imagine if they would have got on TV and told everybody that, they hate us not because of our freedoms, but they hate us because of Bobby Brown? That Osama bin Laden had murdered Bobby Brown? Can you believe that? My God. The incredible account of the terrorist's infatuation with Houston comes from Sudanese author Kola Boof, who is widely accepted, lived with him as his mistress. It was 1996, and just a few years later, bin Laden would mastermind the most appalling terrorist attack ever to happen on American soil. Well, this is where it gets good. But holed up in his Moroccan compound, he had different things on his mind, namely sex, smoking cannabis, and dancing to Western pop groups like the B-52s and Van Halen. So obviously the newest music that Osama bin Laden allegedly could get his hands on was made in 1981. And he liked getting high and smoking weed and talking about killing Bobby Brown and while he's dancing around to the B-52s and Van Halen with a bong in his hand. I mean, this is just too funny. According to her account, the strongly racist bin Laden puffed on cannabis before announcing he would be willing to break his color rule and make Houston one of his wives. What? He's gonna his color rule? He's gonna break his color rule. Oh, take a lot. Oh, I don't care. I want to dip my spoon in the pudding. I want to have some chocolate pudding. I want to have some sexual chocolate. Yes. Oh, praise Allah be. Yes. Praise Allah be. Allah. I want to dip my spoon in the pudding. Back that ass up, girl. I want to have it. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is hilarious. I mean, obviously this is a fictional account, but who do they get to write this? Some old scriptwriter from Saturday Night Live? It sounds like something Chevy Chase wrote or something. My God. I mean, this is what passes as reality these days, folks. That's how goddamn idiotic they think we are. They just make up bin Laden stories just for sheer entertainment now and put it in the news, and people believe it's real. Oh, man, if this was going to happen anywhere, I tell you what, it would have to happen in fucking Dallas. The Transportation and Security Administration is coming under fire for allegedly doing a peep show naked body scans of women who agents think are attractive. Ellen Terrell told CBS 11 News in Dallas that agents at DFW International Airport asked her to go through the invasive scanner 3 times just because they wanted to get a nice, good look. A female agent at the checkpoint surprised Terrell by asking her, "Do you play tennis?" And I said, "Why?" She said, "Well, you just have such a cute figure." Speaking to agents viewing the scans in another room, the female agent claimed the images had been blurry and asked Terrell to go through a second and third time. But after the third scan, the female agent appeared to get frustrated as she radioed her co-workers. She's talking into her microphone. She says, "Guys, it's not blurry. I'm letting her go. Come on out." So they made her go through these things 3 times just so they could look at her vagina. These guys don't even deserve. These guys need to be just. I'm talking execution style. Line them up, put them on their knees, walk up behind them, pop, and put one behind the ear of each and every one of the people responsible for this. Not a slap on the wrist, not fire them. I'm talking about put them down, because I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you something right now. One of these scumbags did this to somebody in my family, somebody I know, execution style. I don't give a fuck. You do this, I find out you do this to somebody I know, and I'm going to go find out where you live, and I'm going to put a bullet in your brain. How about that? I am just sick and tired of the pussification of America. I'm sick and tired of it. People think that they can just say whatever they want to say to anybody at any time, and then when you don't like being talked to like a piece of shit, and you step up to them and threaten them with an ass whooping, they try to turn it around like you are the aggressor. People do that to me more lately than I've ever seen. I can't even understand this. I had a guy the other day, I was going through, I went to a drive-thru, I was getting something to eat, and I got like a double cheeseburger or something. It was really not anything extravagant. It wasn't, I didn't even get fries or anything. I just got a sandwich, right? Guy, I pay for it, go to the other window, and the guy says, "Hey man, you gonna eat all that?" I'm like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "You gonna eat all that?" I'm like, "Well, what business is it of yours?" I don't know. I'm just asking. It's a lot of meat. You gonna eat all that? I go, "Excuse me, motherfucker? What? Because I'm a big guy. You gonna eat all that fucking burger? Fuck you, man. What the fuck business is it of yours if I'm going to eat all that or not? Are you the fucking food Nazis now at Wendy's?" He starts saying, I'm coming out there. I'm coming to kick your ass. Blah, blah. "Oh, you're coming to kick my ass. Come on and get it." The manager's yelling at him, not doing anything. He comes out the door, comes around. I jump out. I'm like, "Come here, motherfucker." He comes at me. I grab him by the back of his head, swung him around, and started kidney punching this motherfucker, dude, like it was like he was a bag of meat. My fucking, knuckle was hurting afterwards because it was going into his spine. I know that dude was pissing blood for the next 2 fucking days. Manager comes out, grabs him, pulls him off of me, and he's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, the manager's totally like, I'm like, "Dude, you better get this guy out of here or I'm going to kill him." That's just all there is to it. And the manager was like, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 just, please don't, do anything. Just go. I'm like, okay. He's like, "I'm not going to call the cops." He's like, he came after you and you had every right to defend yourself. So, if you just don't kill him and let him go, everything's going to be okay. I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine. But people just think that they can fucking run their mouths to people or make them go through body scanners or whatever. And look, go back through there one more time so I can see your vagina. And we've been so pussified that we're not even supposed to say something back to people or be offended or have a problem with it, or we're the bad person. I mean, how did we get like that? Have we? And it seems that almost everybody in society is like that now. They just think that they can just talk shit and say whatever they want, and that everybody that says something to, they say something to, just puts their head down and doesn't respond and say something back. No, I say something back. You're not just going to fucking make some snide comment to me and think that I'm going to let you get away with it. I'm going to whoop your ass. And if you tell me you're going to come whoop my ass first, when you come at me, you ought to be swinging. I mean, you ought to be swinging. That's all I'm saying. If I got time to whip your ass around and put you in a headlock and start kidney jabbing you, dude, obviously you're not much of a fight. I know that dude's pissing blood for 2 days. I know he was. Oh, goddamn. You better get some cranberry juice, motherfucker. Oh, man, that was just too funny. Oh, man, the manager probably beat him worse than that. Because the manager, had him by the head when he was, taking him back in. The manager looked like he was like I didn't even do shit to him. Manager's like, I'm about to fuck him up. That's the way the manager looked at me. He said, I'm about to fuck this dude up worse than you could even imagine. You take him back there and slap him with a beef patty or some shit. Oh, man.